doesn't matter who wants it. We give it to them.
Okay, you're an entrepreneur. You're like, I create products so crazy they don't even know they want them. Wait till they see my whimsical toes. Okay.
That's it. That's the name of it.
Whimsical Toes.
I love that. Welcome back to the TheBhavCast. Today got Philadelphia comedian and lovely lady. Please welcome Gretchen Dietz.
Thank you. So good to be here with you, Bhav.
Oh, thank you for coming. This is awesome. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How did you get here?
I drove here in my Toyota Corolla.
Oh, respect. We love Japanese cars here.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Did you grow up in a Japanese car household, or?
Yeah, we're a Toyota Lexus family.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
And where are you like from and shit? You know what I mean? Before we get into this, I got to figure out who is Gretchen.
Yeah. Well, when you do, let me know, because we're working on that. Yeah. A lot of people don't know where I'm from, and they're like, "Oh, you're Philly. Oh, you're Jersey." I heard, and I would just be like, "Yeah, it's crazy." Like, who?
I
knows?
just assumed actually that you're a Philadelphia comedian. You know?
I mean, I guess I'm known as that because I started comedy here, but I grew up outside the city, north of Reading, which is like way out there.
Oh, you were like almost in the sticks.
Definitely.
Yeah. I love that. I actually I'm from the burbs and I love the country. You know, the city is like the bane of my existence.
Are you from Jersey?
No. Wow. Did you assume that because all Indians are from Jersey?
God damn it. Kicked out already. I just got here.
No, I grew up in Lansdale, like right outside of Philly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like in your boat. You know, we say we're from Philly, but we're really far away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you grow up playing that game Stump? Do you know that game?
No.
Oh, it's a great country drinking game.
What do you do?
Oh, so basically you grab a tree stump, right? You need a tree stump, and then you put a bunch of nails in it.
Okay.
And then you and your friends get together with some beers and hopefully closed-toed shoes. You know, sometimes ladies like to just come to parties with open-toed shoes, and I feel really scared for them. But you take this hammer, you hit the stump, then you throw it up in the air, and you flip it, catch it, and you try to hit someone else's nail in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was maybe just your town. I've never heard of this.
No.
I'm trying to think of like the most redneck shit you do growing up out there, and I'm like, you definitely hang out around a campfire.
Okay.
You definitely throw some horseshoes. But the stump is next level, dude.
Okay. Did you ever play in the creek? In the woods?
Definitely in the woods. Yeah.
Did you ever get poison ivy?
Oh, yeah.
You're susceptible to poison ivy, I see.
Actually, when I was a kid, I didn't get it, and then recently I got it.
Where?
It's bad.
Yeah. Where'd you
I went
get
on
it?
a hike and I got it.
Where on like your body, like your ankles or something?
The leg.
The leg.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's so itchy, dude. It's bad.
I believe it.
Yeah. So, the wilderness.
Yeah. Do you like the wilderness?
Okay, so I lived in Philly for years, and then I was like, maybe I'll go back to my hometown and be a normal person. That didn't work. Okay. It was like a nice try, like good experiment, but it's not gonna happen. So that was my parents were traveling, so I stayed in their house for a couple months.
Oh, I
was like,
that.
let me just try it out. And I was like, yeah, no.
It didn't work out for you. No, well, I think this is the country, the suburbs. That area is for people that are like, they're ready to just settle down and be boring. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
I see people from high school. They're like a father of 4. I'm like, what's up?
How are those children?
I saw somebody who was like 10 years till I retire. I was like, what?
Wow.
I was like, I have friends that are like in college, and you're like trying to like retire. I was like, what's going? I was like very like, I can't.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, there's some people I know that are like trying to retire by like 40, and I'm like, dude, how did you do it? You know?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like who I am by I'm 40.
What's more important, figuring out who you are or just try to make that bread and retire?
Well, if you ask my brother, it would be the second one. He's doing great. Do you have a sibling that's like better than you?
I have an older sister, and I would say she's better than me in certain aspects, and I'm better than her in certain aspects, you know?
Yeah. How's her podcast producing? Not on your level. Exactly.
Yeah.
Addressing Bhav's parents.
Yeah, guys, you tell Namu I'm better at producing.
She can't even do what he does.
Nah, she can't. But she doesn't want to. You know, that's also it. She wants to be hidden, and she likes to hike. You know, it's just be out in the wilderness.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does your family still live in Lansdale?
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
I want to go there next weekend for Mother's Day.
Nice.
Yeah. You have a mother still?
I have a mother. We'll be at a family lunch in Allentown, PA. So
Love
getting
that.
pumped up for that now.
Do you and your mom have beef? How's that life like?
I don't know. She's weird. My parents, I don't like them right now.
Oh, now this is good. Yeah. Well, recently me and my mom got in a beef, and then we got over the beef,
What was the beef?
It was just like, I was like, I had this realization. I was like, you Indian parents be always fear-mongering us when we're little. And then you say, why are you guys so aggressive sometimes? And I was like, don't you understand?
So you just kind of called her out on just trying to rule by fear?
Yeah. Well, they used to threaten me with like going to boot camp. Like I'm gonna send you to boot camp. So I want to show my mom that movie Full Metal Jacket. But I'm so afraid she's not even gonna understand. It's just gonna go over her head,
Yeah.
This would have been good for you, actually.
Did that ever scare you? Or ever like, what if I have to go?
Well, I didn't really understand what boot camp was. I knew it was a lot of like working out. But what my biggest fear was, Gretchen.
She's like, you're gonna go to like a military prison for children, and you're like, so like a gym?
Yeah, and I just want to play video games a little bit, just frolic in the creek. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds idyllic. I have to say, like, growing up in a more rural or suburby area, there's certain things about that are bad because you're like, I don't have access to any cool shit. Yeah. I'm stuck here. But like, it does give you like an extension on childhood.
Yeah.
And I think it's the reason why I do still look young, honestly. Because like I remember I would go party with my college roommate. She was from Staten Island.
Yeah.
So we would go party like in college, go out in New York. And her friends all looked like they were like 10 years older than me. And I was like, oh my God, they have like fashion and like makeup. And they look like full on like aggressive adults.
Yeah.
But now they look kind of rough. And I'm like, hey, what's up? So I'm like, it's not bad.
Yeah, no.
I see why people like move out of the city when they have kids because like it's more chill.
Nah, you're doing great. You look young for your age.
Thank you.
I'm
That's
proud
all
of
I
you.
want.
Yeah. I actually have that problem too. You know what I mean? Like you think I look like 22 right now, and I'm like, guys, I'm a young man.
I
I'm
did
30.
think you were like 23.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you. Give me a year. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at least when we're like 80, when we're like 85, like 90, we'll look like 60.
You'll still be kick flipping.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm. This is like one of the things I was talking about today. It was like in my head. It's like, have you ever had like a pain and you're like, just go to WebMD? You know what I mean? Do you like self-diagnose?
It's not good though.
Yeah, but do you do it?
I don't do it anymore because I used to do it, and then you'd be like, my finger hurts, and it's like cancer, and then you can't sleep. So I just like, I almost feel like I deal with like a dude. Like I'm just gonna ignore this, and then if it's really bad, I'll go. But like most things, do you have to go anymore? Because like, I was sick in the winter, and my mom was like, you got to go to urgent care. Yeah. And then I went, and they're like, yeah, I don't know. It's like,
just let it run its course.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of fucking doctor are you?
I don't know.
They got their doctorate degree during COVID.
Probably. Yeah. Online.
Yeah. My leg hurts. That's why I asked the question. My leg hurts real bad. And
Where does it hurt?
Just all the way down.
The whole leg.
Yeah, and I'm like thinking I have AIDS.
You think you have AIDS because your leg hurts? You been fucking around?
No, not really even.
I think a lot of the pain is footwear. I think shoes are really important. This is like my I'm getting older take.
Oh, and you're also tall, so this is actually very important to your lifestyle.
Like I worked with this girl, and she always wore heels because she was like super girly girl, and she's like, my back hurts. I go, yeah, because your shoes are like fucked up.
Yeah,
like put on a shoe. Put on a shoe with support, and just like put those on if you want to go, talk to the press or whatever. But like, just you gotta like, it starts from the ground up. So I'm like, I don't need a doctor because I walk around in running shoes most of the time. Thank you.
Okay.
Really stupid.
No. I feel. When was the last time you saw the doctor? I know, like sometimes, like ladies have to see a doctor a little more.
I was thinking about this because when you're little, they're like, it's your checkup. Like you go every year, and then you just become an adult and you're in the wilderness, and you're like, unless I'm dying, I don't want to pay like a copay on some shit.
Exactly.
I mean, I've been to like urgent care for minor shit, but like the doctor.
Yeah, primary doctor.
I don't think I have one. Like whenever I go to other shit, they're like, who's your primary? I go, I don't know. Like, do you have one? Do you have a doctor?
No, not really. I tried to get this hip thing checked out like last year.
Dude, the whole leg, now the hip?
No, it starts in the hip for me. And
no.
recently it's just been bothering me in the leg. And Sometimes it's this leg. It's the whole.
So your whole body hurts.
Yeah.
Like from the waist down. And you go on WebMD and it said AIDS.
Okay. And with all that trauma, I still try to be a good person and put on a good attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one day it will bend. You know what I mean? So you haven't seen a fucking doctor since you lived with your parents, you're saying?
No, definitely it's been like a year.
Oh, that's not bad. I'm like on 5-6 years.
I am pretty intense with the dentist.
Every 6 dryers done.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Should I fold this?
I was about to ask.
He was like, yeah, when we have a woman on the podcast, she folds the clothes.
You know, Gretchen, real talk, I did all my laundry between like yesterday and today, and it's just all sitting on my bed.
That's great.
At the end of this, we could take a camera back there. We could both fold my clothes.
Laundry is my favorite chore. I love it.
Really? Vacuuming is mine.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate it.
Oh my God.
Why? Vacuuming sucks.
It's almost, real talk, why I like it. Oh, sorry, my nose is itchy. Stop it, nose. It's like dancing. You know,
oh my God.
You're like, oh.
Get this guy a girlfriend. He's dancing with his vacuum. Vacuuming sucks. It's like boring, loud, and hot. It makes me like hot. I'm like, why am I sweating?
Like a lady.
This machine is like, ooh.
Except boring. She's not boring.
Boring.
Like, it should be exciting. What did you say? What are the 3 adjectives?
Okay, it's boring, loud, and hot.
Yeah, so it should be exciting, loud, and hot.
Yeah, you're like boring, loud, and hot is like all the dates I've been on. Laundry is great. It's so rewarding because you see the process. You're like, dirty clothes in a pile and then like folded nice. You're like, yeah. I
you
did
put
that.
on your Timbs like a blue collar worker when you do it.
No, but I could.
You could. That's nice. Actually, I might start doing that.
It calms me.
Yeah.
I like laundry is my favorite. Yeah.
What's your favorite item or like article of clothing within the laundry to fold?
Within the laundry world, great question. Love to do sheets and towels. Wow. Yeah, just love to do a large load of sheets and towels. Just fold them. Should I get married and become someone's wife? I'm like, wait, I'm just realizing my goals are to fold towels. I either need a husband or to work at like a summer pool resort.
Yeah, exactly.
If hotels weren't so gross and people didn't just do crazy
jizz everywhere.
Exactly. That might be like what made me happy as a job, but I know that I have too many dude friends that are like, oh, I'll just destroy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to touch.
Yeah, I mean, I personally bring my own sheets to a hotel. You know what I mean?
To jizz into?
Yeah, I mean, if I want to, I'm not necessarily there to jizz.
You don't bring your own sheets.
Yeah, sometimes sheets, just like, but like not like a wrap sheet, but like it's like the loose
You
one.
bring a sheet to the hotel.
And like sometimes a pillow cover.
Okay, the pillow I could see because you might be like, who was drooling on? But your own sheet.
Yeah, sometimes.
It's like an adult blankie.
No, I sleep on it.
You sleep on the sheet.
Yeah.
Do you put it on top of the duvet, like the blanket on?
No, I sleep under that. None of it really makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, that's
but
interesting.
sometimes I don't do that. Yeah, but definitely pillowcase. You know what I mean? Definitely pillowcase.
Definitely. So would you have trouble sleeping in a hotel without your own pillowcase?
Yeah, it depends how faded I am, I guess, at this point.
Because of germ considerations?
No, I just feel like it might make my skin like emotional.
Emotional.
Yeah, and the next morning I wake up, maybe my skin is like, nah, I didn't like that, dog.
Okay.
Why'd you do that to me?
Wow, I never even thought of that.
Yeah. Recently, like, I don't know. I've always had kind of like shitty skin because I have a shitty lifestyle. But
no way. Your skin looks great.
Thank you. I've just kind of figured out the life hack.
What is it? Will you reveal?
Yeah, of course. I literally, once I figured this out, I'm telling everybody. I'm working on a product myself.
Okay.
To put out, but it's like when you get like a fancy drink at a bar, they put that ice ball in it. Mm-hmm. Right. So you just get one of those molds, get it at home, put your little face wash, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is. Put it in there, fill that ice ball up, and then the next morning just take it in the shower with you. Use that. You know what I mean?
You freeze your face cleanser?
Yeah, and like that ice ball.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Do you rub it on your face with pressure?
Just depends. Not too much, right?
Didn't mean to excite you.
No. Like, no, this is a good question because people will have these type of questions.
Yeah.
Usage questions, you know what I mean? Yeah, just enough. Like sometimes in this area, in your jaw where you're talking like us, you might need to apply a little more. Like maybe in the soft areas, go easy. You know what I mean? And then in the middle of the ball, it becomes more abrasive sometimes, depending on how the ball is like layered with the soap. Sometimes when it freezes,
Wild.
So when that happens, like you need to be a little gentler. You don't want to scratch yourself or something. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to do it by feel. You know?
Okay, do you think that this actually changes the physical property or process to enhance your skin, or do you think it's just like a mental game?
No, I definitely, you're scrubbing every day and you're tightening your pores. Even if I go like 2 weeks without the fucking face wash, it's like still, that's the routine of just like scrubbing and kind of tightening those pores, you know?
How did you first come up with the idea to freeze your face wash into a round ice ball?
Well, yeah, that was kind of like I was just every day just taking some ice cubes in there, like in a cup.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, this is getting complicated. And then I was like, I'm not like really drinking on the podcast with those ice balls because like if you put them in like a whiskey glass or something, it's like not much drink, you know? And it's like, we're like turning up here sometimes. So it's like, then we keep refilling. I'm like, nah, this is not efficient.
I could see a market for this product.
Yeah,
it would be like a masculine. It'd be like a hot guy in a shower, and it's like real men don't exfoliate; they freeze. Exactly. And it would just be like
it's for
a
girls
hot guy
too,
like picking up like an ice chunk, sort of like a primal like caveman Neanderthal like glacier. And they're like, yeah, I need that.
And then his other hand is just down there like.
You can sell anything. I mean, people sell like boxed water. You know, that's you actually invented something.
I know. You know what the real kick in the design is? Like, this is like a sphere. I want to make it like almost like bubbled. So there's like. It's like almost.
It looks
textured.
like a molecule.
Yeah, kind of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The reason I was asking how much pressure you use is because in the girl face realm, I don't know if it's crossed over to the boy realm.
Yeah, it can.
There's that like face roller.
Bullshit
going on.
I've fucked around with that.
You have that.
Yeah.
I feel like you have more products than I do.
No, I used to have a girlfriend for a long time.
Oh, nice.
And she was really into skincare and shit.
Yeah. What happened? Sorry.
No, it's all right. Life happens. You know, the BhavCast happened. I put Nancy in a bottle. She was like, "You're going crazy. Get out of here."
Well, Nancy's hanging in.
Yeah, she hanging in there, aren't you, girl? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you had to pursue your art and become an inventor. I get it.
I'm trying. So, like, in the girl face realm, what are you doing over there?
Dude, I literally just wash my face with like a lavender soap and then dry it. I don't do shit.
That's also a thing, too, not to overdo it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm just saying. Like, even if you don't put the fucking face wash in there, you can just use the ice ball.
What kind of face wash are you into?
I guess right now I have maybe like some type of CeraVe.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
That's like a dermatologist approved or whatever. I saw a commercial.
Exactly.
Well, when I was in high school, I feel like everyone liked that like face wash bullshit that was like very scratchy.
Yeah.
And then like a couple years later, they're like, that's like why there's microplastics in all the fish. Oh. It was like that bullshit.
Oh, yeah. I used to love those
scrubbing your face. And then they're like, now everything's dying. And you're like, who invented that?
Someone that was interested in money, Gretchen.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, those were great. I love those little and they burst. They're like morning burst. I used to love those. You know,
some of them are scratchy. Even I bought one of them nostalgically. I bought like the St. Ives one because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. It smells like apricots or it's kind of scratchy and cool. And I was like, this sucks, dude.
Yeah.
It's like rubbing your face with sandpaper.
Well, when you were that young, you didn't experience all that trauma yet. You know, now we just need to be touched lightly.
Yeah, I need a gentle soap. I'm very sensitive. Yeah, totally.
No, I love that. You know, that's what we do here on the BhavCast. Just make sure everyone's healthy. You know, are you staying healthy? What's your what's your health like?
My health?
Like what's your day-to-day routine, you know?
There's no routine right now. I'm really going wild.
Give me last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday.
Okay, you don't remember too far? I apologize.
I mean, exercise-wise, I feel like I do well or better than average. I have to work out or I'll be like crazy.
Oh, nice.
So
okay, let's do that. That might be easier.
I run, I swim.
Oh, swimmer.
What I really need to play basketball. Somebody just hit me up, but I was like, yeah, I'm on the BhavCast, so I'm not available.
Do you really ball?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I played in high school all 4 years, and then I played the first year of college.
Oh. What's your, what was your position? I'm
just like forward center.
Oh, okay.
Just tall, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever play volleyball?
No, which a lot of people think if you're a tall lady, they're like volleyball, and I'm like, I actually suck at that.
Yeah, that was like my game.
Yeah. Really?
Volleyball, yeah. So I would definitely put you in the front row. I'm like, come on, Gretchen, hit that ball. You know?
Oh, and then recently my friends invited me to play pickleball.
Oh.
Actually really fun, dude. Have you tried it?
Pickleball is a small court tennis, right?
It's like mini tennis.
Yeah. I haven't tried it yet. I just recently
Very
bought a
fun.
tennis racket.
Like tennis?
Yeah.
Did you play?
No. Some lady and I was dating this lady. She was like, let's play tennis. And then we broke up.
Hot until she dumped you after you bought the gear. What the hell, lady? Oh, my God.
But now I just had this tennis racket, so...
It's a nice racket.
Thank you. You know, I'm going to wait until someone wants to play with me one day, I guess.
It'll happen.
It'll happen. I'm not too worried about it.
You sound kind of worried. Someone will love me again.
Play tennis. Oh, that's cool. So when did you start getting into this comedy business, Gretchen? Why are you here on this couch? How did you find yourself here?
I wish I didn't like it so much. You know what I mean? Because it's so insane of a thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I always loved comedy, and I would always like obsessively watch comedy specials, and I was always a writer, like in school, and then I was an English major, and I went to grad school.
Yes, you're a doctor in English.
Which nobody knows.
Now they do. You know, Mom, she's a doctor. Are you proud or what?
They'll be like, not in the sciences.
No,
Get
they don't
bitch out
care.
of here.
Wait, so why don't you go up on stage as a Dr. Dietz?
Ew.
Is
Why?
that? You think that's ill? You think that's gross?
Yeah.
Apparently, the way you express that like
here's what happened. So I was like, ooh, I really love like school, and I think I'm gonna go like be a professor.
Okay.
And some of my family was like, cool, and some of my family was like, those academic people, like they're snobby and they don't know about like real life.
Of course, they don't.
And I was like, I don't think that. And then I like went there and I was like, ooh, these people are snobby and like don't know about life. And I was like, I can't like be this. This sucks. Because you basically get super specialized and you just look at one tiny thing and then that's your life.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's a dumb life.
Oh,
like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. And then you get arrogant because you're in the fucking higher education. It's the worst.
But now it's like crumbling and I'm kind of like laughing looking at it.
Yeah, it depends what I think you need college for like STEM degrees, right?
Yeah.
And it's a shame that colleges are like for profit, right? That's the right word? Like they're trying to make money, these guys? Or
yeah, I mean, they say they're not, but...
Yeah, no, but let's be real, I mean, I went to Penn State. I think, they're just trying to make money all the time, Like fucking, I think they raised tuition during COVID. I was like, how does that logic work?
Yeah, they're like, no one's here and we're saving all this. They're like, yeah. Yeah, I think ultimately they want you to go into a profitable career so you make a lot of money and kick it back.
Yeah, but I ain't doing that.
No?
I got no money to kick back to them,
Yeah.
Every time the alumni association's like, hey, Bhav, what's good? I'm like, not much, dude. It's nothing's really good. It's just
we're kind of just keeping it together, but maybe check back later. Yeah, but I don't know. I was thinking like, did I regret doing it? Because I'm like, damn, that was a lot of years. Like I put in some time.
Yeah.
And I don't, because I like got a lot out of it in terms of like being a cool thinking person. But
do English majors smoke a lot of weed?
I didn't really till I was like, F this, I'm just going to be a cool person in Philly. Then I did a lot more.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then comedy stuff, then you're like, that's how you get paid in the first shows to get booked on, you know? So,
Exactly. Yeah, just sometimes weed, a beer tab, sometimes no money at all. They're just like, you're lucky to be here, bucko.
Yeah, I'm starting to say no to those.
No, I'm taking everything still. I'm a whore for stage time.
I was talking about like all the shit I say no to. I was like going on a rant about it, and Matt Peoples was like, "You say no to stuff?" He's like, I'm like, "Yeah, I say no to all kind." I'm like, "That bar show I already did that 3 times. Don't."
Okay. I understand that. Okay, yeah. If you're already like a reoccurring guest, maybe within like the same 3 months.
Yeah,
that's too much. You know what I mean? You don't got nothing new for them.
This brings me on why I'm jaded on Philly as a whole.
Wait, I don't understand. I used to be jaded, to be honest, real talk. I used to be real jaded, and then I just started making my own content, and then I was like, now we're in Bhav's land, and just you can come and go as you please. But
it's actually pretty nice here in Bhav's land. It's nice.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing the podcast?
Let's see. I started filming. What year is this? 2024. So 2020. I think I started filming March 2022. I put it out November 2022. Now, in that time, I filmed like 40 episodes. I went on like a 4-month bender, was filming like 7 days a week, getting trashed 7 days a week. So some of the episodes I didn't release. I like hit up those people. I was like, these are trash.
Wow.
I had this like guest on. She was a musician. She's like crushing it. I'll tell you after. I don't feel like putting the bleep in
Dua Lipa.
Yeah. I wish. Oh, fuck it. But like,
you're like, I can't release this shit. I'm trashed.
Yeah. And I was like, it's not going to do you anything. You know what I mean? I was like, oh,
you're like, this is bad for both our careers.
Exactly. But I was like, basically like bringing up like, I don't even know how we got on the topic of parenting, but somehow we did. Neither of us were parents at the time. Now she's a mother, and but like she has like liberal, like very open-minded parents, and mine are just conservative third world parents, right? So it just doesn't add up.
Are your parents conservative politically too?
Politically, in the sense like my mom still thinks weed is the worst thing ever. Like, you know what I mean? They're like they don't think whoring around is a good idea. They don't, you know what I mean? Like,
so they don't support your lifestyle.
They don't really support my lifestyle. Like drinking, like this is not very a good thing we do here. You know what I mean?
They don't support the pod?
No.
Do they watch the TheBhavCast?
Oh yeah, my mom watches it every.
So they kind of support it.
Well, they're doing it to keep up. You know, see what's good.
I know. I was driving here and I'm like, what if I go on a rant and I just talk shit on my parents? And then I was like, yeah, the TheBhavCast is very popular with boomers age 65 and older, right?
Kind of is. That's it's like mid 30s to 40s and then elderly people.
Really? You're like, the elders are my main demo.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I worked at Dairy Queen for a long time, and like children and old people, they're like my favorite customers, because children have like a hard time fucking ordering, and I had that fear as a child. Like my dad would be like, go order, and I'm like, I don't want you.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because they don't know what to say?
No, just I think it's intimidating. They don't want to talk to this stranger. He's much taller than them.
Aww.
Yeah, I mean, and you're like, come on, buddy, what do you want up there? Fucking, it's ice cream. This is not like.
And then the old people have trouble ordering because they start to have dementia.
Yeah, no, they started to say like, oh, back when I was young, ice cream was 99 cents. I'm like, yeah, well, it's not fucking 1910 anymore. Dude,
old people get fixated on a price point of a year, and they just live there. Because like my mom is on that shit. Like I drove her to like the airport, and she was like, here's gas money, and it was like $15. I was like, how much do you think gas and then like she's come around, but I was like, you can't just decide gas costs like 33 cents a gallon, like in your mind.
Yeah. Exactly, right?
So weird.
Yeah, well, wow, she's that old. It was 33 cents.
I don't know.
My parents are like a 75 cents.
They sent us a card and it had $20. And I'm like, it's cute, but it's also like such a weird amount of money to get as an adult. Yeah. Like I was kind of like, oh cool, I can tip at Helium because I'm like working there. And then my brother was like, what is this? Because he's like a tech guy. Mm-hmm. And it sounds. Oh yeah, no, I don't want to be like rude because like anytime you get a gift, it's nice, but it's kind of like I don't know what the vibe was with that.
Yeah. No. Like like tech, like they make a lot of money. So what is $20 to them? You know what I mean?
Nothing.
It's nothing. So you can like it's like my parents will give me like 20, or like fucking uncles will come over and be like, here, take this 20, and I'm like, oh, I like this. I'll get like ice cream with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's usually I use all that cash to sometimes buy drugs.
Nice.
Yeah. That's where the cash usually goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get that. You know what I mean?
So my mom was giving me weed money.
That's what it is.
Wow. Now that I think about it, she's pretty cool. Shout out, Mom.
Yeah. Wait, so you grew up actually watching comedy though, like as a child? When were you first introduced?
I don't know. Probably not like as a child. Like I love when comics have stories like, oh, my dad and I like listened to this comedy record or something. Like I don't have anything prominent like that. But I think like always being a writer. I think when I was like in middle and high school, like watching The Daily Show.
Oh, okay.
And, like,
you're one of
watching
those.
SNL and being like, oh, this is like really
skit comedy,
like
and all
informative,
that.
And this is like smart, but it's also like really funny. This is cool.
Yeah.
And then I would like all the old school shit. Like I would watch like Carlin and Pryor and bullshit like on my own. Like there's just like an old man in my heart.
Yeah. There's an old man in my ass.
Dick.
Wait, what did you say? Did you say dick?
Yeah, that was rude. I take that back.
Wait, there's an old man in my dick?
I think I would be like saying your dick doesn't work that well, which isn't. I didn't mean that, dude.
Sometimes it does. Okay. I mean, that's life. You know what I mean?
I feel like we're doing a lot for like gender and society right now. I feel like we're breaking down walls.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's be real. I think if you're like, you know how they market Blue Chew to all the youth, or like all Roman and just I'm like, in your young 20s, you shouldn't be needing that. You know what I mean? And like, if you're like so wasted, you can't get it up, and you're taking that, like, don't get me wrong, I maybe participated maybe, and you're gonna have a heart.
Like hypothetically, true story that happened to me.
You could potentially maybe have a heart attack or get yourself close.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like just tell the babe, hey. It's not. Let's do it in the morning, or it's not gonna happen ever. Just move on. You shouldn't be taking that at such a young age. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it does seem a little weird. Why do people do it?
Because they like to get fucked up, and then they just want to have a wiener that works.
Oh.
But I get it. It's cool in the moment. It's fun. But as a doctor, I'm telling you, Gretchen.
You're a doctor?
Of course.
Of
teeth at first, and then it became medicine.
You started for dentistry?
I'm just going down this bad joke.
Dude, you have really good teeth. Do you?
No, I went to a dentist. They actually got fucked up. You want to see these bottom ones?
Yeah.
You see how they're kind of crooked?
Oh yeah, I never would have noticed.
Yeah. Well, I hide them like this every day when I go out.
Your mouth naturally hides them. You have great teeth.
Thank you. But my retainer broke. And I was doing karate in my youth, and then some bitch kicked me in the mouth. And I said, what was her name? Heather. I said, I just got my fucking braces off. What are you doing?
It's like, I hope she has a really intense bully name. And you're like, Heather. It's like, not.
But, yeah, Heather had a problem. Like, she would love to kick dudes in the balls. And she thought that was, like, the funny thing to do at karate. And then someone just sweet chin music the fuck out of her.
Where is she now?
She's somewhere around, but she's like, maybe in that LGBTQ lifestyle, You
sound like a very old man talking about, I've only heard of it. I've heard mention of a different lifestyle, and I think Heather might be part of it. It's like so good. Well,
anytime you put a stripe of color through your hair, I think maybe that's when you start entering that.
Yeah. That's an interesting...
take on it, maybe?
Sign, yeah. It does seem to be, I don't know, like nerdy shit, like causation or correlation, but I think there's a strong correlation. You see some different colored hair, you think maybe we're a little gay.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yo, you know what's really funny that we're getting to this so naturally? It's like, I had some guy on my TikTok, right? I was like, I just asked a question to TikTok. I was like, guys, when I turn my head, my ear hurts a little bit. Does anyone know what that means? Because I'm not going to WebMD anymore. I'm going to TikTok.
Yeah, that's where you get the real medical info.
And some guy commented. He was like, oh, bro, I'm not a medical doctor or anything. That's probably because your boyfriend fucks you in the ear. And then I was like, oh, okay. So then I asked TikTok today again. I was like, guys, do I look or come off as gay? You know what I mean? And then they came back and said, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Well, you can't just, that's like giving a wiffle ball to the internet. It's like, does anyone want to ruin me? And they're like, bang.
No, but it came back like gay as in like so many gay positives. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, and welcome.
Yeah, like can I take you out?
Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, guys, no.
Did you think you were gonna get like sound advice from TikTok?
No, but that was part of the. Yeah, I just thought.
But like the medical stuff, did you think, or you just goofing?
I thought maybe. Well, I wanted the information.
Yeah.
And I only just wanted to see what came.
Yeah.
Because maybe some doctor out there saw it, and maybe the algorithm hit him. And he's like, hey, brother, this is what's going on. This is what you should do, But I wasn't really hoping for much. Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying. It's like 1%, like, really investment. But then it turned into a whole gay thing. So.
Yeah. But you kind of enjoyed it.
I did. Like some of my fan base is actually gay, and they always tell me send them nudes, and I tell them you gotta hop off.
Yo, Bhav Nation, chill.
It's a lot, Gretchen. Sometimes I like have to like. They honestly will get to my Instagram, DM me like and be like, can I get like a booty pic? That's what they're really interested. I
you
guess
want a pic of your butt?
Yeah, I guess I have a small, tiny brown ass. So you just want to fucking.
Is that what they say? You're like, yeah, I'll show you later.
And I just tell them I'm not ready yet. I'm not desperate enough for it. Like they offer money. That's the thing. It's like a money thing too. It's a transaction.
So we've both maintained our integrity.
Yeah.
And not sent sexy photos to just
respect.
Knock off OnlyFans bullshit.
Yeah. Have you thought about that?
I mean, I just won't do that because I'm like, no, but I see why people do it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's cool to have money, right?
But I think I think it's almost like the music industry. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna put some plants in there, like some like young girls that like make it seem like it's like okay for everyone to do, and their like account gets like real stacked, and then like just like everyone tries it then, but like some people are just gonna like fall off.
Yeah.
And now they kind of just ruin their shit, and like I think during COVID they were like making like OnlyFans seem really cool, and like now some chicks are like, yeah, that was actually a pretty dumb idea. I didn't make much money.
Yeah.
Now I really.
You're like, oh shit, I could have done DoorDash. But now
Anything.
there's all these pictures of me all over the internet. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't like undo that
Yeah,
stuff,
and it's like, it's not the like, I don't like that kind of quick money is just like selling drugs, You're just like fucking selling coke to an addict. He's like, give me some of that same pussy every
Give me
day.
some of that tight brown.
And
you're like, sir, I know you have an issue.
Now, I would consider selling feet pic. Have you ever thought about that?
It's so
Can
weird.
you pick your feet up here? No, like no weirdo.
I have a huge foot, dude. What size are you?
Like a 10 and a half.
Yeah,
10.
we have the same size shoe.
I love that.
I'll buy like a men's 10 basketball shoe. But
that's nice.
No, would you?
Just
because
I'm thinking about it.
Because you're like, who cares? It's just my foot.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about like when they get like really veiny and like after I work out.
Dude, is that what they like?
I don't know. That's what I think I would start with.
I'm like, is that what they say? Is that what they say to you in the DMs?
No, the feet pic I haven't experimented with, but that's something I'm willing just to. And I think like some men have talked about it on like TikTok, like straight dudes in a relationship that just sell feet pics, but they put like their feet in these like little wax molds like the night before, and then like it's just like an hour thing, like the prep.
You've researched this.
Yeah. Well, they tell you. They're like, this is what I do. And
why did they put it in a wax mold?
Well, just to get like all the impurities off and just like the stray hair.
It's glistening.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that.
No, we can do it together. It doesn't even have to be like that's what almost like a puppet show, but with
the TheBhavCast just cuts out. They're like, I don't know what happened in that episode. Like, wait, we could be making money right now. We gotta go.
Yeah, but imagine this: like we all put our little toes behind a little fucking like a little and like put little faces on them. Come on.
I'm afraid of who wants that content.
Look, like see, that's the kind of thinking that will hold you back, Gretchen. It doesn't matter who wants it. We give it to them.
Okay, you're an entrepreneur. You're like, I create products so crazy they don't even know they want them. Wait till they see my whimsical toes. Okay.
That's it. That's the name of it.
Whimsical Toes.
I love that.
It's kind of so silly and cute that it kind of negates anything gross or weird about it. So
nothing about it is
fine.
gross. It's just little toesies. Yeah. We as society have fucked up a certain amount of
things. I feel like it's different for dudes because I feel like ladies, it's just like, like some weird person could just be walking down the street and they take a picture of my feet and they just have it in their phone.
I know.
So
okay.
weird.
I know. Okay, I get that. But let's just imagine no one is taking a picture of your feet. They're not attaching it to like your face in the little whimsical.
I was walking through like a packed market in China one time and a guy just took a picture of my boobs and I was like, that just lives on the internet now. That's just
no, that's so fucked up.
It's just like, okay, there's like no, stop, delete. There's a billion people.
Yeah, okay.
I was like,
I feel that. Okay, Gretchen, I feel that.
So I'm just like, you're not getting photos of me.
Okay.
Internet.
Sorry. Okay.
Unless I said.
Exactly. I feel what you're saying. Like I was actually.
But you're like, I want to paint my toes with faces, and I'm like, you don't know what it's like to walk through a market with horny guys around.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I have been to like Woody's And there's it's like that's the I mean they want to fucking this.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like repressed.
No, I'm not.
The other thing is we're talking personally, like what we would do or release, and my like openness on what I myself would do or put out is limited in a certain way to my comfort. But society, it's cool for people to do whatever they want.
I totally understand.
Except the pedophilia. Someone's got to rein that in.
That is very bad. Can we cut it out, please?
Thank you. You heard it here.
Just leave those kids alone, goddammit.
But anything like adult sex stuff, I'm like, I mean, we all have one life to live. If you're consenting and not hurting anyone, it's whatever you want.
Exactly. I totally feel that. But Gretchen, just hear me out on Whimsical Toes.
Okay.
It's not gonna be weird, okay? It's like
expand my mind.
Your face is not gonna be in Whimsical Toes. You know what I mean? It's just.
If I see a fucking ad for Whimsical Toes and I'm involved in this and I'm like, I don't know if they want it, and you're like, boom, Whimsical Toes, I'll be like, dude.
It's just like a cute little thing. It's like almost like finger puppets, but just your little toes.
Who is it for? Who wants this?
I have no idea yet. But okay, I'm gonna prototype it with me. I'm gonna shoot a pilot, 10 little toes.
Sounds like a children's book.
Maybe.
You're gonna get implicated in a crime.
No. Okay. So you like one of the questions I love to ask on the BhavCast is like, like that's a great segue right there, right? Crime to this. What's your like? We do this comedy thing, blah blah blah. What's your end goal in all of this? You know what I mean? What is the final trajectory you're looking for?
I think that's a great question.
Thank you.
Because some people are just kind of. It sounds mean, but a lot of people are kind of stagnant.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I don't like level up, I need to quit. Like I'm of the mindset where like I either need to improve or stop, but I don't ever like to be where I'm at.
Yeah.
And like, if I do a show and someone's like, you were the best one, I hate that.
Well, why?
Because I'm like, I don't want to be the best one. I want to work with people better than me.
But what if you really crushed it and you're like, I needed a tape, I needed a smash night, and then you fucking did that?
All right. Maybe I did a Don't Tell in Kentucky, which not the hottest zone for comedy, and a crush. And I was like, yeah, I did. Yeah, I'll take one.
Yeah.
But no, I always want to improve. So like, I don't know, I guess just seeing there's levels to it. So like when I started, I just took like a notebook to an open mic and I was like shaking, you know,
yeah,
because I'm like, I don't even know if I could do this.
I still shake sometimes.
Yeah. And I just went and did it, and I like read out on my little notebook and people laughed, and I was like, oh, I'll do this. That actually is a thing I could do. And then I just started doing like all the mics.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you do the mics and you're like, how do I get on a show? And they're like, you got to have like, you know, 8 or 10 minutes. And then you get that. And I'm like, oh, I'm crushing bar shows.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, well, how do I get like paid more? And it's like, oh, if you have like 15, you can host like, you know, like a nicer show or like a suburb show that pay more.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, cool. And then it's like, oh, how do I like get in it? Like Helium or Punchline. You gotta like hang out there. And then I like got in there. I like got to host the mic at Helium, open a show. And I was like, whoa. And now I'm like, all right, what's next?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to hang out here for years and just be like, no disrespect. Anytime you're on stage at Helium, it's like a dream.
Of course.
Stage is like one of my favorite places to be in the world. But I'm also like, I can't just hang around being like, oh, like a couple times a year I get that.
Yeah,
like that's not enough. It's not enough financially as a comic. And it's also not enough like
it doesn't
just
feed
to
the
satisfy.
bug.
Yeah, because I'm like, how will I improve? So that's kind of what's driving me to be like, well, what else is out there and what's the next step?
Yeah.
So.
And you were just in Texas.
Yeah.
And how did that treat you?
Pretty nicely.
Yeah. What did you do down there?
Well, I wanted to see like if the hype was real, because everyone's like Austin's whatever, and I was like, is it real what they're saying, or is it like overhyped? And I was like, I gotta go see. And I also was like, I've never been to that city, so I need to just vibe check. So I'm like, this is kind of crazy because I got laid off from a job, and I'm like, everything conventional or like our parents' wisdom, which is in your head, is like, don't have a job, maybe not the best time to take a vacation. But I was like, I gotta go. And I was kind of like, flip side bro in my head was like, don't have a job, kind of never a better time to take vacation. Like you don't owe anybody anything.
Exactly.
Like, so I just like went out, and I would say like within an hour of being there, I was like, oh yeah, this is great. Like as soon as I got there, I was like, yeah. And then I'm like, wait, like make sure it actually has like the thing you want to do and not just as like a town you like to be in.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of places to go. And then like I went out to the clubs and like hung out, and I was like, oh yeah, like the hype is real. It's crazy.
What shows did you get on down there? Or did you get on shows at all? Or did you just network?
Networky shit. I got into the mothership to hang.
Love that.
Through like
that.
Some of our boys that are out there.
Yeah, like Lemaire and all them.
Yeah, and then I hung out at the Creek in the Cave, which is a really cool club and very friendly.
Yeah.
It's like all the comics hang out on the back patio. So like people go do their spots at Mothership and then just go there and hang out. So you're just like chilling, which was really nice because I feel like Philly, New York, it's like there's almost like classes of comics. And
the
it's
cliques.
Like not even the cliques for sure, but also like levels where I feel like if you're not on the level, they don't fuck with you.
I think it's an age thing for me. That's the way I see it. Sometimes it's like, this is like my like pledge class, and this is where we came in.
It does feel very class-like.
Yeah. And
like
now
we know the
old.
class of people that started at the same. Yeah, but it's not like that there. And people had said that to me. They're like, oh, it's really friendly. Like everyone hangs out. And I'm like,
because the biggest people are down there. You know, you can't just be like an average Joe and then Joe Rogan is there. You know what I mean? Like the fucking whole thing gets cut because you got the biggest comic in the world there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's a smaller town.
Yeah.
And all the clubs are like very concentrated.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Cap City is farther out and I didn't go to that one. But like there's like this strip of a couple blocks where it's like loaded with clubs.
Yeah.
And the demand for comedy is insane. Because there's just like bar shows in every bar and people sitting through not even good caliber of comedy, dude, between you and me.
Yeah.
Like shit that if you tried to do in Philly or New York, people would walk out. People like lower, like open mic level shit.
Yeah.
A 4-hour long show and packed.
Love
and people
that.
loving it. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? People, the fact that you have to get in a standby line to wait to get a ticket for the open mic show at the Mothership. People are lined up outside the door to watch an open mic.
Well, those guys like if like Helium had I think if Helium did their open mic a little bit better too, like people would line up for that.
Like marketed it more.
Yeah, or like, you know, like really promoted like sure, you're gonna have like 10 really good comics. They're gonna work on new material and the rest are just gonna come with bangers. If they kind of made it like that, like I mean, Rob Stant got on the Mothership fucking thing when he was there last, and like he probably crushed it. You know what I mean? So that show is probably good.
It is. I think there is like some gleaning, like it's not like they're going to throw up anybody. Like I think they curate it and it's people they know or they've seen sign up multiple times and be like, hey. So it's not like a shit show.
Yeah, they're not going to have like all bad people, but they might have one or two.
Just like that amount of demand is crazy. And then I'll go, like I was up in New York a couple nights ago. I just popped through. I had a spot in Manhattan and then I went to the Stand because it was like some people I knew and it was like not attended well. And I'm like, these are some of the best comics and there's like no one here because there's so much. You're competing with all this other shit people like to do.
Oh, of course
because it's like
and New York's different, you know?
We have so much stuff,
but
like Austin, it's just like packed with tourists, packed with people. Everybody wants a live show, everyone's with it, and I was like, it's hard to comprehend like the amount of like supply and demand being that high. It's insane.
Yeah, well, it's almost like I feel like Austin's almost like Nashville. You know, it's like more of like a live city,
totally.
while like New York is like it's like underground. There's not like it's like less like space per square foot sometimes. You know what I mean? So you have like the live venues, but they're kind of tight.
You're competing with just so much.
Oh,
it's like,
and that too.
Oh, we can go see like any band or like the Knicks or the Yankees or like there's so much cool shit to do.
Or just no one wants to sometimes listen to comedy too. You know?
You're like, oh, actually here no one cares. No one cares to listen. They were listening so actively. I like went up on this bar show and I was like, you guys are listening. I'm like, God, I just wish you were my parents. The way you just the way you just care about the words I say. It's like I've never had this. I've literally never had this during this moment. But I do think it's really cool to start here because it is tough. And I didn't know any better because I was just like, I like comedy and I happen to live here, so I'll try to do it, right? So you just sort of you start from where you are.
Exactly.
But now I'm like, oh, starting in Philly or East Coast in general, I think is so good.
Yeah, great.
Because people are like, I'm busy, I'm grumpy, and I don't have much time. So are you funny or not? Go. And you have to bring it, be quick. And then you see some people that started in like other smaller towns, and it's like a little shaky.
What are you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
At least go up there with one punchline.
That's what I think in that voice. Is
yeah, Gretchen, do the Indian accent for me. Give it to me. Say, what are you doing, buddy? Good to be here. Thank you. Come again. Give it to me. Come on, give it to me.
I didn't know. I would have practiced.
No, come on, let's do it. Thank you. No, okay, I won't make you do it. Don't worry. No.
I'll practice. I'll leave you like a voice memo.
Thank you.
Do you leave those little voice messages to people?
It depends. Like if I have like a skit or something and I don't feel like typing it out, then I'll send it as a voice memo. But if it's just like, like we're just like texting like I'm coming, all right, you know what I mean, like up the stairs, like that's fine.
Yeah.
But it just depends if I don't feel like.
Dude, I kind of love them.
Yeah.
I used to think they were annoying because I'm like, I'm doing things and you're sending me, I have to stop and listen. And now I'm like, these are great. So now I send them all the time. Yeah. But I was like producing a show with Brandon Mitchell. Do you know him? And I was sending like long ones. I was sending like a 2-minute long one with like all my fears about the show and like the shit we had to do. And then someone back, it was like 3 seconds. And then he was like, it'd be like that. It's so funny. Mine's like 2 minutes. This is 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, I love that actually. Now that I think about it, I have sent like a couple like long ones, you know what I mean? Just having a full conversation. It's like, why didn't I just call your ass?
I know. We will send them back and forth. And I'm like, it's just a phone conversation that we like staggered. I don't know.
Isn't that crazy almost?
Sometimes I'm just like, I can't even talk on the phone right now. But then I'm like, anyway, then.
Yeah. Well, you just want a chance to like kind of get multiple takes, you know?
True. That's true.
Yeah. But I just usually YOLO and just send or I'll be like talking and I'll be like, shit. All right, this is what I really meant, you know what I mean? And then it's like 5-8 minutes. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, just send it, you know? You got to.
Oh, you like re-listen to them?
No. Like I know they're like 8 minutes and I feel bad that they're going to have to listen to take after take. I just rip one take.
Yeah.
And then just YOLO, you know what I mean?
I had a guy friend who would like re-record voicemails until he said it the way he wanted.
I can understand that because that's just like one voicemail all the time, you know? I'm still like using this old voicemail from maybe like 20 years ago.
Oh no, like he would leave a voicemail and play it back and then he'd be like erase and he would like re-leave it.
Oh, that's weird.
That's too much time.
Yeah. Just first of all, if they don't answer, then I'll just be like, I just send them a text. Like, that's why I called.
I can't leave a voicemail anymore. Oh, you're talking about the voicemail box. Yeah, because who would ever think to change it?
Yeah.
But some people, if they have it linked through Siri, the voicemail box reads it in the accent. Have you heard this?
No.
Because I called one of my friends and it was like a German man. It was like an and I was like, what? And then I called someone else and it was like Australian. It's like all your shit's synced now. It's very weird.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. You got to check yours. I should call you and be like, yo, it's a Chinese lady. When I call you, it's just a lady yelling in Chinese.
Yeah, I'm going to make it my mom yelling, why are you calling my son? He is fucking busy. Do not bother him.
That would be so good.
Unless you're a single woman.
They're like, calling you about the job interview. We'd love to schedule a second round.
Yeah, man, sorry, but that's my mom. You know? She's trying to keep me on track. Yeah. What do you think about like FaceTime? Are you a big FaceTimer?
It depends. If it's friends, yeah. If it's family, I like won't FaceTime my parents because they'll just start like laying into me.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you don't even brush your hair? And I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. But, you know, sometimes I just do it to just make them happy. You know what I mean? Check this out. I equate it to like this one FaceTime call is like maybe like the 3 calls.
Oh, that's good. You're like, this is bank for later. Yeah. I can ignore 2 missed calls because I put in some FaceTime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have that guilt? Like, do they guilt you? Like, oh, Gretchen, I called you 4 or 5 times. Like,
mine are like out to lunch where they would like forget to call me for so long. They're like,
oh, okay. Yeah. So these are not like fucking. I have the guilt trip.
You have the needy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they do the guilt, but it's like so distant. I'm trying to figure it out. I've kind of like taken some space from them lately because I'm like, I need to.
Of course.
I would do a lot of like excuses for them. I'd be like, oh, they're like from a different time and they have different morals and they grew up harder. And now I'm like, hold up, like it's 2024. I don't like the shit you're on. It's not working with me. And I'm like, I just need a minute. And I used to feel so bad. Like, what if I upset them? And now I'm like, I just like called a timeout and I'm like, I'll be with you in a bit. But like, you need to, I don't know what you're doing, but I need to get some shit straight.
It's uncomfortable for me.
Especially if you're trying to do or work towards something that they're not going to understand.
Of course.
If you have traditional parents, you can't, I don't know if yours are like this, but I can't share an idea with them if it's not fully like mapped out.
Yeah, you got to come to it with the fucking idea cooked. You have to come to 10 episodes.
They need a fucking proof of concept or they're just going to ruin your shit. So if you're like, I have a dream of, dude, you're just walking into fire. So I'm like, I'll be with you shortly. And then I'm like, looking at my bank account, I'm on Indeed, and I'm like, yo, I got to like figure this out.
Yeah, you got to get a job.
Because I don't want to hear it. And I want to be like, this is what I'm doing, and like it's set, and whether you like it or not, and I'll be fine. Like, but that takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I totally understand and resonate with everything you said. I get it. You know James McElhinney?
Yeah.
You know what? I was telling him something, and he goes, Bhav, who hurt you?
Yeah.
And then I explained a little bit more.
You're like my parents. Yeah. That's why I'm a comedian. Dude, that is the commonality among comics. Yeah. It's bad parents.
But then he explained a part of history to me that was like, blew my fucking brains. It was like, the kids of Holocaust survivors, they got the guilt trip the worst. They're like, oh, your feet is a little cold? I was in this fucking concentration camp, motherfucker. So then... And that killed me even more because I was already like, I was just getting...
I don't think that's good logic, though, because then it's like...
It's the most extreme, you know what I mean?
It will...
It's not good parenting,
if
obviously.
you say like, well, it could have been worse, then you're negating what it is.
Yes.
Because I used to do a lot of that. I'd be like, oh, it wasn't so bad. I grew up like comfortable enough. And then I was just like reflecting on some shit and talking to my brother. And I'm like, was a lot of this shit like pretty whacked out? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, it was like kind of bad.
Yeah, it's fear mongering.
Yeah.
I get it.
And you're just like, yeah, it could have been worse. And I have a lot of privileges and things I've been lucky to do, but it could have been better.
Yeah, being tall and white is a great privilege you have.
Being a tall, white, blonde lady, it's been hard.
Yeah. Gretchen, how I do envy you.
I wish we could trade.
Do you really?
Like a little body swap for a week.
You see that? You see that for a week. Once I get your fucking body, I'm not giving it back.
Oh my God, you'd want to keep it.
I'm fucking gonna run it into the ground, but not like in a bad way. You know what I mean? I'm taking it to fucking 100.
Like, oh, my leg doesn't hurt anymore. I'm never going back.
Oh my God, I never thought. Oh, I'll probably cry.
I'd be like, oh, I can skate, but it hurts too much.
Yeah, you know, like sometimes when I'm sitting in bed in the morning, I'm like, dude, I have to get fucking vertical. And then, like, you know, I don't even want to press a snooze button. But I'm like, eventually, you know, time is like, I need at least 20 minutes tight to just, like, get a shower, do the fucking face ice ball, get out the door.
Exfoliate with a method I've created that no one else knows. Yeah, morning ritual.
And then, you know, have an Activia, get out the door. You know, I got to do all these things, but it takes me 20 minutes because I'm like, my hips. You know, I like slowly walk to the bathroom.
I do feel a little creaky when I wake up and it started to give me a little anxiety. Or I'm like, do I have like early arthritis? Like, what is this? Or am I just a little depressed and have allergies? Which is it? Let's go on WebMD.
Yeah, Dr. Patel. You know, I do sometimes go by that, but like
Dr. Patel?
Yeah.
It sounds official. I feel like I know 10 people
I
named
say
that.
all fucking Indians are born doctors. It's like fucking... Okay, look, Gretchen, if we're at like fucking a party and someone gets a slice on their leg...
Technically, I'm the doctor here.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, who can give this guy sutures? You know what I mean? I'm going to be like me, dude. Just trust... I roll the finest joints, the finest... Yeah. I have these Gandhi fingers. You know, they're fucking doing the thing. I have like a best...
So the fingers you hit your wife with?
Not yet, when I get one, though. And the kids.
In due time.
Yeah, in due time. No, I want to have her do all the hitting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if they get mad at their mom, then it's like, hey, cut it out. You know?
You're going to yell at me, the inventor of the ice exfoliant.
You guys know I have perfect fucking...
You're going to be like, what do you think paid for this house? You just walk away rubbing it on your face. Like, you kids don't understand. Ungrateful.
Yeah. Like,
you just guilt trip your kids. Then your kids start a podcast. It's so beautiful.
I love it. And but I hope we keep engineering in there. You know what I mean? That's what really...
Do you like it?
Now I do. Once I rationalized everything.
Okay. Sounds super healthy. Okay. Like by thinking it's a day job that allows you to do your other cool shit.
Yeah, that and you know the show How It's Made?
No.
Oh, so it's like the show when it was on when we were little on Discovery Channel. And it's basically like it'll be like Corona bottle. This is how it's made. They'll go to like the manufacturing place, and it's a real just informative show. And it's like Hershey's chocolates, snowboards, anything, and it's like real cool. And then when I realized industrial engineering is basically how it's made, then I was like, oh, okay, I'm fine. Like I get what I'm doing now. So like now I work at the shipyard. We're building ships like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So like
a tangible thing.
Yeah, just like folding laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing the same thing.
Yeah. It's totally no, building ships is cool.
Yeah, no, it's a fun time. We have cats down there. It's a grand old time.
Like cargo ships?
So we're gonna build 3 cargo ships in the future. Right now we're building like 5 ships for like the little like the little children in like fucking the Navy schools. So they're gonna have these ships to like train on, and they'll double as like if there's like a huge tragedy like Katrina. These ships can like show up and like house people for a minute.
Nice. Can they house comedians if they run out of money?
Yo, there is a stage room, and people would always make jokes. Like there's like an entertainment area with this nice stage and good lighting, and they always like, Bhav, you want to rip 10? I'm like, yo, load everybody up, let's go.
The boat show. You're like, yeah, I saw there was a trolley show. I'm talking about a boat show.
Dude, I want to get on that
I don't know who's running that.
Gretchen, I'm not like deep in with the people, so like that's the problem. All the people, you know what I mean? Like I just just hang out over here, and it's like that fucking trolley show would be. I would have so much fun. I'll be fucking swinging around on the poles.
It looks a little chaotic though.
Yeah, but that's the
fun part.
That's my vibe.
Yeah.
Look at this thing. There's a fish. There's a live animal on this wall that's just dying.
Yeah.
Don't judge her.
Her fins look a little tattered.
Put your sunglasses back. No, I'm just playing. But like, yeah, because you said that like that. You can't look at the fins clearly. That's what I mean.
And now she looks fine.
Exactly. Oh my god. Would you ever get a pet?
I had a betta fish. It died. I had him for like 2.5 years. Yeah.
What color was he?
It was blue, like bright blue. Dude, I need to share this.
Yeah,
the weirdest people in society are the people that work at the aquarium store.
Oh.
Yeah. They're like dudes who can't talk. They're like helping a reptile like be in its cage, and then I'm like, "Where's the gravel?" And they just melt down, dude. Mm-hmm. They can't. They're like,
Yeah. But if you talk to them about gravel,
they'll nerd out.
They'll fucking. You gotta see. That's the thing. I always like sometimes like my like girlfriends will come up to me like, oh, like what's wrong with dudes? And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with them. You just have to talk to them about the right thing. You know what I mean? If you find that they have like a certain, just fucking. I don't care if you don't care about fucking whatever it is. Just talk around it a little bit.
You have to be like an autism or special support teacher and be like, I'm sure we can find what interests you.
Yeah. And then he'll be like, oh, what makes you happy? And then it's like, that's how relationships work.
You talk like a Muppet?
I kind of wish. That'd be my whole thing, That'd be a good life.
So some dudes are just not good at conversation.
No, like those nerdy guys. You know what I mean? Like those guys. And then obviously like the dudes that are like too pretty that never had to talk. You know what I mean? Those guys are on a different spectrum. And then short dudes always know how to talk. That's like their only fucking. They
gotta turn up the charm. When a short dude hits on me, I'm like, I do respect the level of swagger this short king.
Well, they see you, they're like, all right, Gretchen, she's tall, she probably played ball. A lot of dudes with swagger have probably been around her. They gotta turn it up a bit.
They do.
Yeah.
Some of the young dudes have a lot.
Yeah, well, they're bold. This young generation.
They're bold.
Yeah, they make me tired, dude. The young men. I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah, a super young dude asked me out, and I was like, I'm flattered, but like, dude, you're like very young.
Yeah, what's your youngest you'd go?
Nowadays, maybe late 20s is fine.
Like a 28.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where like adulthood kind of kicks in. 28.
For a long time, it was just 25, and I was like, you're fine. You're out of college, and you learned how to like pay your bills ish.
You can rent a car now.
Yeah. And you're brain formed or whatever. 25, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was like, oh well, now I'm like 10 years older, so maybe that's a little. But
it really depends.
But this dude was like 22, and I'm like, dude, no.
Nah. There was a guy at Helium last night, and like he was like he was like little finance bro from New York, and he was like with this like really cute shawty, and they were like, he was like calling out during my set, but I'm working it, you know what I mean? He's doing all the right things.
What was this, during the mic?
Yeah, like at Raven, and just like, but I'm asking for
the show.
Yeah. And I'm just like doing like the Dairy Queen material, and he's like really excited about it, you know what I mean? And then like I'm like leaving, and then he's like out in the hallway, and we start like talking, but he's giving me that young man like too much, like almost like disrespectful vibe, and I'm like and I just like look at that like cute girl he's with, and I'm like, goddamn, you're in for a little bit here, you know what I mean? Like this guy, I think he was a little coked out, but he had this blazer on. He's like, I'm from New York, Manhattan. I was like, I know finance, bro. I was like, this is the one. Like, that's a lot of energy, this dude, for me. You know what I mean? I have one of those friends. They're always talking, we're going to make these fucking things.
Yeah. It's also interesting when you see, like, people that are, like, 19 and so self-assured that they know everything. Yeah. And you're like, you're going to get knocked on your ass. But do you remember when you're like 19 or 20, probably the worst time to be a person? Yeah. You're like, well, I got it. Yeah. Like you think you know shit. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy.
Dude, when I was 19, I used to say like, oh, I'm invincible. And now I'm 30.
And you're like, I'm fragile.
I'm dying in real time.
Why does my hip hurt?
AIDS. This podcast is actually just a long memoir of my life. You know? When I'm gonna, just my hips are gonna fall apart.
Bhav looks back.
Well, you guys will look back, you know.
Do you have like anxiety and fear that your body is failing you?
Yes.
Okay, I sense that.
Yeah, you know, but I run. I really intensely work out the heart.
But that scares you a little because you're like, that shouldn't be.
Yeah, and then like what I know is the body can correct up until a point. So, you know, like I do tell myself, Bhav, let's get sober. But then I get sober for like 3 months. And I become jaded in the sense like I turn into my mom. Like I start looking at people like, hey, you could be doing better.
Wow.
Be better. Like one time, like I was at Helium late night, and someone was like gonna go drink and drive. And I was like, nah, dude, you don't got to do that. You know what I mean? And then, but like, I'm turned.
That's just being a good person.
I know.
So you're like, I need to get blazed, so I'm not a good person.
Yeah, like I shut up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh, like you feel like you're kind of annoying and too much if you're not sedated a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Aw.
And I feel like I have enough, like a catalog behind me, like within like content on the on YouTube, the stand up, like whatever it is, where like no one can be like, all right, Bhav, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, then like I have just a backing a little bit, you know? Yeah. And I've been around for like 5 years.
Bhav Nation.
Yeah, the Befreaks. Like, come on. Like,
what do the Befreaks into? Is that what the toe thing's for? Yeah. All right, I'm putting it together.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Gretchen, right. I want you in on that, but I don't want it to be like a weird thing. I just need a couple white toes. You know what I mean?
That's the weirdest shit that anyone's ever said to me.
Like they're just characters. Just don't think about it as like it's not a weird thing. Like I think I understand the traumas you have felt. Okay, but
for having parents that are old.
No, I meant like the China thing, and they're taking pictures.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've ever told anyone that. It's just odd.
Yeah, it is. It's just a culture shock, and it's really rude, you know?
It's just weird, because if a guy was like, I want to see your feet, I'd be like, God, these guys are so weird. But you're like, I need a few white toes. I'm like, that's somehow weirder. There's nothing weird about this. Just a few white toes.
It's for
decorated.
Content. It's for content. It's for our careers.
It's for content is like the phrase that's gotten anyone to do anything, like just career ruining.
I'm going down I know it sounds bad. Okay, I know this all sounds bad, but like I said, I want to film the fucking prototype, and then you'll be like, all right, Bhav, I want to be a part of this. Okay. Just like the TheBhavCast. You know, you're excited to do that. You're going to be excited to do.
I am excited to be on the TheBhavCast.
You're going to be excited to do Whimsical Toes that you named.
I don't think I'm quite there yet.
Okay, not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay, maybe like when you're like 60, you're crushing it, you're on tour.
When I move to Austin and I'm broke and I'm like, I'll do anything for money.
Yeah.
I would be like, yo, Bhav, about...
Yeah, you come back to me and you'll be like, oh, Bhav, the toad thing's just kicking it. And I'm like, yeah, it is, Gretchen.
Oh.
Let's see how long we've been doing real quick. 1:14, we're chilling. And I'm like, yeah, Gretchen, we're fucking doing the toad thing. I got you. And you'll be like, yeah. And you'll see it's not weird. And then maybe we might make it PG.
It's for content. You'll see it's not weird. It's like a warning sign.
I think I presented it so weird to you.
How weird are we going to get as a society? Because like anyone can be as weird as they want and put shit online. There's no end to how strange we can become.
Now I'm kind of upset that maybe this Whimsical Toes is maybe a bad idea.
I don't know.
No, but the content online can go like so crazy.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's nuts.
Yeah, but this is the life we're living. You know, what do you think about us trying to get rid of TikTok?
Is that going to happen?
I don't think so. There's no way. They're just going to make another TikTok. And that's the app we need to hop on right away.
The Wiggly Toes app?
No, like the next TikTok, right? Like we got to be.
Oh yeah.
All the content you've put out on like Instagram and everything, just have it ready to go.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing because like sometimes I'll look at my Instagram and be like, oh, this one joke I'm proud of got like 250,000 views, and then I'm like, yeah, and like someone's gonna invent a different app tomorrow, and no one's gonna look at this shit, and it's like, what are the metrics you would ever measure shit by? And it's like so weird.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
That's why I started the TheBhavCast. Like I think you have to start some type of consistent content, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be a podcast. It doesn't have to be like, it can be Whimsical Toes.
For example.
It could be anything. And then just something someone can come back to you like weekly and understand like this is like your online form of entertainment. And then they'll be like, all right, but they also do stand up and that's what they really enjoy. And like sometimes it's like, all right, you can do the whole Andrew Schultz thing where like every week you put out a clip. So like during your set, during that week, maybe just do one topical thing that you can toss out every week. And then you build your core material. And then at the end of whatever, something fun will happen.
Do you think about what to post from your stand-up versus the cast and like what balance you want?
Yeah, so the cast content. No, well, on my main page, there's really no balance. It's just all fucking I'll post a lot.
You apologizing to your mother for disappointing her?
Yeah, like there's no balance. It's like sometimes it's like pictures, whatever. Sometimes it's stand up. Sometimes it's I don't know. It's everything. But then the TheBhavCast page is just all TheBhavCast. You know what I mean? So they have their own whatevers, but I try to like collaborate with myself because I know this account has the most following.
Yeah.
But it's all a pain in the ass.
But you do the TheBhavCast to enhance the stand-up.
Yeah, and to actually like meet people. This is like, you know what I mean? And then you were like, you told me a story you never told anyone, and then now you're like, oh, Bhav is not that bad. So that's a lot of the thing is like, you know, like it's hard to like really get to know people in fucking bars doing open mics.
Yeah.
So like now we're like in this cool area. There's a fish dying on the wall. Everything's like really chill. And then
She's
like
doing all right.
now you're like, all right. He's not that bad of a guy.
It's like your show. It's like we're talking. But it's interesting because I think some people like podcasting more than stand-up.
It's easier, you know what I mean? Like, we're just chilling. There's no like, we're not looking for like a beat per second or like, no one's like in the front like, make me laugh, monkey. You know what I mean? Look at Richard the Seal.
They can't say that. Yeah, you do have a seal on the wall.
Yeah, he's just chilling. Like,
yeah, it's very peaceful in here.
Yeah, I try to
nice.
like, you know, once you vacuum, everything becomes chill.
I wish I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're like a clothes folding girl. Let me ask you about this. Like, when I was little, my mom always made me fold my underwear. Like religiously.
Like in half?
Yeah, like or whatever. Like, you know, when I was really little, I used to wear like whitey tighties, and then at one point like it was like cool to wear boxers.
Yeah.
And now I kind of wear underwear depending on what activity I'm doing, you know what I mean?
What's cool? Are we still in the boxer briefs era?
I mean, like I wear boxer briefs if I'm like going for like a run or something. But like if I'm just like chilling, then I'm wearing like boxers. And if I'm like right before bed, I'm wearing just commando, just some nice shorts, you know?
It's your house.
Yeah, like, but it really depends. It's a function for me, you know what I mean? So what did you guys do? You just take all your underwear and just toss it into a drawer? Or what's your style?
I'm more organized than my parents. But yeah, I fold stuff.
Oh, so you fold all your underwear and socks?
I fold my underwear anymore. I stack it into like, it's like in a stack where I can be like, yeah, those. Yeah. I'm not like, oh, these have to be. My grandma, she was old school, and she would iron everything. Wow. She would like iron her jeans.
Wow, that's a different era. They all had to look pristine all the time.
Yeah, she looked good.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Ironed underwear.
I don't iron anything. I buy stuff that is like, this shirt won't wrinkle because I know how lazy I am. Yeah.
I know. I might try ironing my underwear soon. That is actually really cool and interesting. Like, you know, you've put on like just iron clothes for like a special event and they feel crisp.
Like,
you know, maybe that's what I need. Like, just
you're like, we gotta wrap this up. I need to go start starching my shirts.
Oh my God, that's such a great idea. I love that.
Some old school shit.
Yeah. What do you think about shitting where you eat? Like at a
McDonald's?
No, like at like your actual work, you know what I mean? Like fucking someone you
like in an office?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking someone you work with.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think comedy's a little different because everyone's drunk all the time, but like in a very professional setting, let's say everyone's making good money, and what do you think about this?
I think classically it's been sort of an issue, and I think a lot of companies have like company guidelines or whatever.
Of course.
But when you talk to people that are together and you're like, where did you meet? I'm not kidding you. I feel like 60% of people are like at work.
Okay.
So I'm like, look, we're adults. If you have a job, you're there most of the time. And like, of course you're going to interact with people that you're around with. So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I could see if it was like really like, if you're on the same level, I think it's cool. Yeah, if it's like the CEO and like the maid janitor or something, I'm like,
the maid. We got a couple of those there.
You know, like that might be a little like a extreme power dynamic. Though that could be kind of hot. Depends on what you like.
Yeah.
I don't think it's wrong.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So go for it.
Nah, dude. There's a very promiscuous woman at work.
Oh.
And she's trying to collect all the dudes one by one.
Gotta catch them all.
And I just feel like we sit next to each other, and I just think like, you know,
that's different.
Yeah, and like we built like great rapport, and she was like in a relationship, and when we first met, and I've had like kind of two in the meantime, and it's like, you know, we built like a good friendship. And then I was like, she got hammered one night, and she was like, I was like, no, calm your ass. You know, you calm your ass. But then my dick started talking to myself, and I was like, you calm your ass. So sometimes it's, you know, it's really hard to be a man, Gretchen, sometimes.
I like that you have the voice of your mother and the voice of a man. You have a lot of voices in there. In your head.
Do you feel like you have this disease? What is that, fucking schizophrenia?
No, but I've talked to enough people where I think it's common with people that have like ADD, where like I was working with someone and he's like, I literally have like 3 different voices running on tracks in my head at the same time. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah.
Like I have like the internal voice of like society or my parents being like, you suck. And I'm like, hey, shut up. I'm doing great. Like I have that.
Yeah.
But I don't have like multiple. I don't think you're crazy if you do. I think people's shit runs different.
Yeah, no, I definitely think one of them is my conscious. So I definitely have like good times B and bad times B. Let's just simplify them.
Wow, I would love to watch that show.
Yeah, I'm going to replicate it through the Toes show. Don't worry. But they're definitely there. Like when I was like doing bad in school, like he would show up and he'd be like, yo, bro, you're going to really fuck this all up. You know what I mean? You're going to get in a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? What's the rest? You know what I mean? So they're really rude, those guys.
It's just like the classic angel and devil on your shoulder.
Kind of, yeah, but they're like in my vibe. You know?
But they're dressed as you. Yeah. That's cool. What does the bad one wear?
I think he's wearing a leather jacket. And he had the long hair, you know what I mean? I'm like in that era right now. But the good one is like, you know, his hair is buzzed.
I wanted us to address your hairstyle. I was hoping we would get to that.
Oh, okay. Let's. But yeah, that's the good one. It just has a buzzed hair and he's wearing a polo, maybe glasses. You know, fucking has my mom around his arm. It's like she's there nagging.
Oh my God.
He doesn't even talk. She's just yelling. You fucked up.
So the angel is your mom and the bad is just you. Yeah. You truly are. It's like your essence.
Exactly. Yes, I just started growing out this hair. You dig it?
I do, but it does suggest to me an era of rebellion.
Yes. This is someone really fun. Like we were talking about this here, and they're like, "What, you going through like your fucking like rebellion era?"
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, because like when you're Indian and you try to do it, they beat the shit out of you.
Like physically beat you?
Yeah, like a little.
What does that mean?
There's a, Gretchen, put 2 and 2 together.
They're like, you dumb bitch, and they hit you in the face.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I never like. My mom is more of like a body shots kind of lady. Yeah.
You're like, no, my mom beats my ass.
But like it's kind of more fun to do the rebellion phase when you're older and you can do rebellion.
Oh yeah, you can really do it.
I can do.
I'm still in my teen rebellion.
Yeah.
I'm like, when does this?
I might start cutting my wrists soon again.
No, I'm worried because you posted something. You were like, if I don't get more YouTube subscribers, I'll end it.
Yo!
I was like, dude, that's one strategy.
Yeah, and I got fucking I got like 9 subs that day.
That's great because they're worried.
Yeah, and that's Gretchen. No matter how you have to do it, I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to stop engineer. I'm trying to go on tour. I'm trying to do the thing.
So your goal is to be a touring comic
and voiceover and animation.
So
and all
you're
that.
just resorting to any means.
Anything. Any means. I'm getting tired. I want to hire an editor so I don't have to edit my shit. You know what I mean?
Can't you find like a young intern to help?
Yeah, but I don't have enough money to be like respectably paying this person, and I don't want to have someone do this for free. I don't want to ask like a family member to do it. You know what I mean? I have fucking ethics. Yeah. So I'm just trying to fucking do whatever it takes so we can just make enough fucking cha-ching to.
Yeah.
And then we can do 6-hour episodes. Then we can be like fucking dicking around, like fucking playing video games. I don't know, whatever. Playing a game of beer pong.
Your goal is to be a streamer?
I mean, that's to a point. You know what I mean? Isn't this kind of like streaming? But like not live, because if we do something bad, I would like to cut it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's a wild tactic.
I'm trying.
But it worked.
I'm trying.
Because I was like, subscribe to my YouTube, and like one person did. Yeah. So if I would have made a threat.
They like it. It's like, like you like something a little dangerous. You like it.
Yeah, I actually have a bit about this. It's about how I like the halal cart guys.
Uh-huh.
This sounds bad, but go with me.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Not the Americanized guys, the guys who like just got here and they like don't know English yet, so they're like really mad. And they just you say like one thing and they're just like mad right away.
Yeah.
These guys are hot.
Yeah, they are.
So I've been saying, I ran this bit. I'm like, I'll find like a hot girl there. I'm like, you get a little danger, and I'm like, is this bit racist?
Nah.
It's a compliment.
It is, because it's just all after the first generation kids are done, that trauma comes really to a halt. That's why I'm really sad for the next.
Are you first? Or
yeah, like my parents are like immigrants,
wow.
fresh off.
So when you have kids, they'll be fine.
They'll be, no, not mine. I want to keep them fucking tanked. I don't want them to get bullied in this new society. You know what I mean? But like, you have to be understanding. You can't like totally be cold to them their whole life. But you can't like baby them the whole way. You know what I mean?
The balance. It does seem difficult.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like, my parents could have like asked how I was like once.
Yeah.
But then you see some people, they're like coddled and they don't know how to do shit.
Right.
So I'm like, well, they did make very like independent children by essentially ignoring them.
Yeah.
But
you
it's
gotta
like,
figure it
where's
out,
the
right?
line?
But my parents were always working too, so like that's why. Like we were alone a lot of the time, so we had to like figure that shit out.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a bridge, but they were like fucking, and then we had to fucking work our whole childhood just making ice cream.
That's such an immigrant thing. Immigrants make their children like do labor.
Oh yeah, I used to do a free child labor joke, and people get fucking butthurt. I'm like, you didn't have to do it. You were going to Sweet 16. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just,
why is that?
I don't know. I think it's why would someone get upset when, I don't know.
Are they trying to teach you a work ethic, or are like, why do they do? Not why do people get mad about the joke, but why do immigrant parents like do?
No,
that?
they need help.
They literally just need.
They need you. We're a unit, and we're making like all that money from Dairy Queen went to our college, so it's like not like it's not for nothing. They're not like taking it and going to the strip clubs. Like this is the hustle. Like everyone sacrifices, and then these next kids, like, you know, if I really stuck to engineering and, like, you know, if I really hit it in comedy, these next kids are going to have to learn a good life. You know, like Kevin Hart, like, takes his kids here to, like West Philly or North Philly, shows the fucking ghetto he grew up in. So you got to show perspective, especially if you make it, like, too big. You know what I mean? Or else you, like, become one of these kids that are so detached, and then they see a Mexican and they're like, what is that? And they don't even think they're humans. You know how, like, they treat, like, servers bad? You know,
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
But you know what I mean, right? They lose, like,
they're
realism.
not in touch with, like,
the people.
Yeah.
So, Gretchen, we've been doing this for a minute. Let me ask you one of my favorite questions. What's your biggest fear?
Ooh.
Yeah. And I know sometimes they can shift.
This is like inside the actor's studio. You're going to be like, what's your favorite swear word?
Yeah. I know yours. You told me before the podcast.
My biggest fear, I'm telling you honestly, my biggest fear is regret. And it's why I am such a risk taker. And some people are like, whoa, what are you? And I'm like, I don't ever want to be at the end of my life and be like, I wonder if I would have tried to do that. Yeah. And to me, the fear of failing at a task or looking dumb or people not understanding me is so minimal compared to the fear of me holding that regret.
I totally agree. You know, like, that's that old man in you.
Yeah,
dogging it out.
I got that dog in me.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, and it's interesting with the whole, like, I was kind of on the academic plan. And then just recently I've kind of been like, I have been freelancing. I don't have a stable job. Should I have done that? I'm like, did I like err? And then I've met like 2 old people that just retired from academia recently, just through like friends' parties or picnics or shit. And they're like, they have regrets. They're like, my life was narrow and I didn't get to explore things I wanted. And they're like, don't do it. And I'm like, who are these fucking oracles being sent by whatever means? No, I'm not like I believe in signs, but I'm kind of like, this is interesting. So yeah, I'm just like, you see people and they kind of lock in and they're not happy. And I'm just like, I'd rather have a difficult life. I'd rather potentially alienate or lose people because they don't get me. Yeah. But be like, I had to go for it.
Of course.
I'm not like, there's not like another try. Like, this is it. So honestly, the fear of regret transcends all other fear, and it keeps me going.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Like, I always tell people, like, they will, like, especially my coworkers, they see me do all these things. They're like, don't you get tired? And I always tell them, like, there's so much energy required to break through the matrix. Like, we're all in the cog of the machine right now. You're fucking getting paid a W-2 at this fucking job. Yeah. One income. The government fucking jerks you off and takes your fucking life source. And but to get out, right? And just to fucking, like, move, like, imagine making, like, $100,000 off just like this a month, right? Like, that is breaking the fucking matrix. Yeah. And this is like, you know, they doing nothing and just hanging and banging. Like, that's so cool, but it takes so much energy to do that, and the average Joe doesn't have it. And then when you're doing it and they're looking at you and they're like, oh, they get jaded too, you know? So that's why they leave you. And you're like, yo, bro, like, sorry, I can't fucking go to this stupid bar every Friday because I need to edit.
Do you have trouble relating to people that are more conventional?
No. I got all my homies down. I know what they're about, and I know what, like, even like homies that are chicks. Like, I understand what everyone's about, but like
myself.
Yeah, but like, it's like you have to understand what I'm doing. If I can't,
Homies That Are Chicks is my offshoot podcast that I do with like 3 female comics. Yo, we're the Homies That Are Chicks.
Yeah, I know, like, homies is usually male oriented, but you know, I do have some chick homies that, you know, like, you have to, like, be okay with, like, you gotta know, like, you might see me once a year, and it's not because I don't hate you. It's just we have different things. Like, you know, our life isn't as leisure as yours. You know, sometimes we spend a lot of time going out Sunday through Thursday. So if I'm not booked on a Friday, real talk, I'm just like sitting on this couch. I might just have this computer here and just like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't need to move these goddamn hips.
Maybe they'd hurt less if you moved him a little more.
I try. Like, I think I've been going too hard at running. I've been really just, Gretchen, real talk, I want abs once in my life. And I'm like really.
I assumed you had them.
The thing is, they come and go closely. You know what I mean? And I just want like one pick, definite abs. I can just be like, I can look back when I'm 80 and be like, yeah, you did it, big dog.
Do you have a main fear?
Oh, yeah. Right now it's Charlie horses.
In your leg?
Yeah.
I should have picked a sillier one.
No. That is a big fear right now because, like right now, on this podcast, if I got a Charlie horse, then I'd be like, and the second one would come and I'd get both. It'd be really weird.
What does it feel like?
Oh, you never had a Charlie horse?
I don't think so.
Oh, and you like played basketball and shit? Like it's like your muscle is just like going like this, and like now imagine like this long muscle. Now it's just like balling up. So now you're like, and you're supposed to relax, but it's so much pain. Like you're like, how do I relax? So you gotta wait like 17 seconds and it goes away.
Oh.
That's worse than bombing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bombing's not even that bad anymore.
But like my biggest fear, I don't know. I have a bunch. Like obviously, is like not disappointing my family, which constantly I do. So like then it's I gotta.
That one though, okay. That one though, I've been in that place, but now I'm like, but when is it ever going to be good enough for them? So you're like chasing like
a goal that's moving. Yeah. I know, but like that's
like they're never going to be, because I was like, oh, I don't want to be like such a fuck up and disappointed in them. And now I'm like, should I just give them my fucking PhD dissertation that I got before I was 30? Here you go.
Yeah, well, I always tell my mom, like, look at that engineering degree. Like, I did one for you.
Yeah.
Now, like, you're a doctor. Dude. That's cool.
What do they want?
I don't know. Well, they want everything. They want the good job. They want the kids. They want the picket fence because that's the era they were raised in.
Oh, they want you to do like the American Dream template.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
I know, and then that's like, so that's why, like, at least for my parents, like, I have a really big guilty conscience, and it would just eat away at me. Like, so, like, I'm like, that's why I do the FaceTime thing. Like, that's that's a perfect description of my life. Like, I'll FaceTime you, and maybe for 2 days I won't call you.
You talk to them that much?
Oh, my mom, I should probably call every day.
Every day?
Yeah. But like this is it, Gretchen. Like think about it this way. We used to beef a lot my whole life, right?
You and your mom?
Yeah. Like over like, oh, become doctor, and I'm like, I can't, and then I'm doing like
dude, I love that because if I was watching TV and they did that, I'd be like, these racial stereotypes we need to move past. And you're like, no, I live that.
This is real. It's not a fake thing.
Become doctor. No.
Yeah, it's really hard, but like
is engineer enough for them?
No, because doctor is the thing. You know what I mean? That's the thing. That's the, and what it is really.
But why do they need that? Why is that the thing?
I figured this out recently too. Like my mom just, maybe I guess now 2 years ago or maybe 1.5. I don't know. Time is like one wash now. It's like she had to get back surgery, right? So like all the consultations and everything. Like I'm also scared because my mom has similar problems this way. It's like almost when a daughter and a mom are pregnant together.
Yeah,
me and my mom
sounds
have
like you and your mom are pregnant together.
So she had to have back surgery and like all those interactions with the doctors. Sometimes like the one or two I went to, like sometimes they're like disrespectful to like minorities. And like I've always heard like black people say this, like doctors are mean to us, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't until I saw like my mom's primary care doctor fucking the dude. Like I was like, do you treat her like this every year, my guy? You know what I mean? Like just like talking down almost. I was like, hey, shut the fuck up. But like, so having a doctor in the family is easier. Oh. And that's, I didn't see that until like, I started doing a joke maybe like 2 years ago and it hit like once or twice. So then I stopped doing it. But that was it. Like, we are not like, they don't want to buy life insurance. They want to make life insurance or like health insurance.
Wow. So you just have the weight of culture on you. Not a big deal.
A culture from across the ocean. That's what I tell them too. I'm like, you guys have all this shit, but it's over there in India. We're here in Pennsylvania in the burbs. Chill, dog. Yeah. I mean, like, it's all hanging and banging over here. You don't have to worry.
Yeah. Do you think they're starting to lighten up as you get older?
Yeah, I mean, I've been like in trouble with the police a couple times. So like, you know what I mean? Like, we're all chill now. The Dairy Queen is done. Mom is getting better. Soon, hopefully we'll go on a family vacation. You know, we haven't seen one of those in a long time. That's what we need. Yeah. And I think after that, we're just, we're chilling. Like I tell them, I don't want you guys to die and us have beef. is not going to be good on me.
Yeah.
And then I'll commit suicide, and then karma's going to be bad.
But you'll get so many followers, which is ultimately...
Yeah, but I'm telling them, this is to ruin your karma. You know what I mean? And then when you say shit like that, now everyone is scared about coming back as this beta fish, Gretchen.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
I would, yeah. I mean, to the physical sense, of course. Like, would you get put in a coffin or not? Or reincarnated?
Maybe this
cremated?
sounds too woke, girl.
Yeah.
Why do we care? It's like, you're dead.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
When people are like, bury me in a mausoleum tomb with my jewels. I'm like, for what?
Yeah, exactly.
It's so, I'm like, I don't care. I do think it is responsible, not to be too dark or sad. Mm-hmm. I think it's responsible if you leave like some instructions so whoever has to deal with your shit isn't like spiraling. Like,
what do I do?
You don't want to put it on somebody to be like, I don't. So I think I'll sort it out and I'll
like
whatever.
Will,
yeah, I'll do that at some point.
But you want to get cremated then?
I get. I feel like our generation's gonna invent some of this eco shit.
Yeah,
they're gonna be like, you're a tree. Like
there's also that option. You get cremated, then your ashes get put into a tree.
Like, that's literally the last thing on my mind because it occurs when it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I guess if you're religious and you believe something with the body. Yeah. I mean, I grew up Catholic, so they were anti and maybe still be anti-cremation.
Yeah, I think they just want to put everyone in the
resurrection
ground.
of the body and all that shit.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I mean, I don't really understand. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, but no, that makes sense now. They want to keep the body, so when they have a whole resurrection thing, you know, we have like a circle.
They just have a lot of rules.
Yeah,
but then it was like the priests are kind of not great. So
yeah, for me, I want to get cremated. I have this like a whole superstition about like if you put obviously Indian people get cremated, but like just your body rotting in a coffin.
It sounds gross.
It's really rude. It's like
it's disrespectful.
Yeah, it's like
it's gross to think about.
You did this for what 80, 90 years, and this is how you're gonna let yourself rest. Like at least go like raw dogged into the ground and let like fucking the earth take you back.
What if I was like, I expect to be mummified?
Yeah,
and I don't.
Well, that happens, but like that's I think the most natural way to do it.
The cremation is. Yeah, we did that for my grandma, and she was like, do that and like go on this walk we would all do and like scatter them and like be together.
Yeah.
And it was like, it felt like calming because it was like the way she was like, no, do this.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, this.
It's what you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's nice because ash is nitrogen, which is like really good for the environment. So even with like Indian ashes, you're supposed to put them in like a flowing body of water so they just enter the cosmic energy back. You know what I mean?
That's
so like
nice.
This is nice too, just throwing it out there. And
what if I want my ashes scattered in space, dude?
Then you gotta have a friend that can
cosmic energy.
You gotta
pull me out.
A really big rocket, or you have to have someone that is an astronaut friend.
You're gonna be like, Gretchen died and she wants us to fire her ashes off the space station. Jesus.
And she didn't leave us any money. What a dickhead. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Good talk about our I do think our generation is going to talk about this stuff more though, because I think it was very like closed.
Well, my dad always told me this. Like he was like, Indian people are not afraid to talk about death, but like sex is a very like a hush hush topic in India. Where in America, like sex is like very open, and like death is a very hard topic to talk about.
That's fascinating.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I was like, but Dad, we have the Kama Sutra in India. I was like, what? Yeah, I was like, what? But it is true, and like sometimes when I do suicide jokes. Or like,
are you good?
Yeah, I reincarnate, so it's like not even a big deal. It's like whatever, you know what I mean? I want to come back as a golden retriever.
You're confident that reincarnation is?
No, but it's that level of delusionalness that just lets you live in peace.
You're so delusional. You're like, I'm so delusional. I'll be a golden retriever, the most delusionally happy animal.
Exactly, and it's but like when you hear them get their assholes tight, and then just before someone's just like talking about like someone eat an ass and they shit on their face and they're all dying, it's like, guys, it's just like two ends of the sword that are really bad here, you know what I mean?
I went to a funeral recently and I was like, this is pretty funny when you think about it. I'm like, death, all your life you strive to do things and then you just die.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on,
it's
dude.
Tough.
I'm like, it's so absurd. And then the But I was like, rein it in. Don't be like the comedian who's got to make jokes at the fucking service, right? But then the pastor guy, he was kind of on fire.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, they usually are.
He was cool. He was like, people ask me like, what happens after I die? And I say, I don't know. And then they're like, how don't you know? And he goes, because I haven't died. And I was like, yo, he's crushing right now. I'm like, are you guys seeing this?
Well, Gretchen, imagine doing the same set 100 times and just changing the name.
Yeah, I was like, yo, he's got it.
Yeah, like
he's got a tight 15 for like death.
Yeah, like those guys, pastors, they like the one dude that officiated my one boy's wedding. He like, I don't know who picked like their favorite quote from the Bible, but it was something about with a woman being like subordinate. And it was like, once he started reading the quote, my jaw dropped. I was like, Amanda picked this? I was like, this bitch is ready to be subordinate?
Like, Amanda's a sub.
I was like, she used to beat up him. I was like, she wears the pants. Is he talking about him?
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, a lot of those readings don't make sense with the occasion, and that is kind of silly. I'm like, did anyone check up on this?
No. Luckily, when I go to like Indian functions, I don't understand Hindi, so I just sit there and like vibe. And there's usually a little music in the background, so it's like.
I was wondering if you speak any other languages.
Yeah, Gujarati. It's like the language of the Patels. You know what I mean?
Patels in particular.
Yeah, it's like we're like a type like. How's the best way to describe this? Like in America, we're all American, but then maybe like in Texas. So Gujarat is a state where all the Patels come from. And then, yeah, just like how Texas has all the howdy, you know what I mean? So, but it's like kind of English, but its own dialect.
Okay,
yeah, cool. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's a good time. But I can't really understand.
Patels are the Texans of India?
No, I wouldn't say we're the Texans. We're like really like farmers and like we're like rural technically.
So like the Vermonters?
No, I would even go. I think we're like poor. We're like villagers.
What state are you most like of the U.S.?
I don't know. I've really barely left Pennsylvania, Gretchen.
Okay, you're like, I don't know other states.
Yeah, like I went to New Jersey and like maybe Vermont once.
Oh. So you're farmers. That's the other thing.
Yeah, where do farmers like the Midwest of this Louisiana? Is that
no. Louisiana's like the bayou. I probably like Nebraska, where they're growing
Kentucky?
corn. Dude, I just went there for work.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
Okay.
I tried to be open-minded. I had a work opportunity. I was like, yeah, I'll go. Didn't look at the MapQuest or Google Maps. What year is it?
Did you drive there?
Yes. Oh, which in the future I would say, cool, who's booking my airfare? Because I didn't know how far it was. So I was like, all right, yeah, see you guys there. And I put it in the Google map and I was like, 8.5 hours. And you drive mostly through West Virginia. Yeah. And then I got there and I was like, culture shock, dude. It was so weird.
Wait, did you sing the song though? West Virginia, Mountain Mama?
Yeah, I definitely listened to like some cool like country-ish songs. I was like just pumping some George Strait. I was just kind of getting in like I had Willie Nelson on. I was listening to some white people tunes, I guess.
I love country. Don't get me fucking wrong.
I noticed you put some on earlier.
Yeah,
but
I knew my audience.
So I get to the event in Kentucky and I'm trying to run this bit on it, but I was walking through and then they started singing the national anthem and I stopped because I'm not that woke. Like I still love our country. But then afterwards they sang that song, My Old Kentucky Home. And I was like, ooh, there's way too many white people to be. I'm like, I didn't sign off on this.
I don't know the lyrics to it. Is it a little racist in there?
The vibe was not great. And then I looked up the Wikipedia page later and I'm like, when was this shit written? Because I'm like, oh, it's just the state song of Kentucky. But I'm like, when was it written? And it's like, yeah, the Civil War was still going.
Yeah,
so I'm like, yeah, the vibes are not good, So.
Yeah, the South is interesting like that. I did actually I went to Georgia once. And like, not like I went like to this lake that my boy has like this house on, but it's like 100 years old. So it's like the oldest house on the lake. So like his house is like poverty and the rest like the houses are like,
oh wow,
like really big and like fucking,
but he still has like 2 boats there. So it's not like poor. You know what I mean?
You're like, my boy's fine. He's got 2 boats.
Yeah. And 2 jet skis. So it was like, it was fine. But like that, like Nick Saban, that Alabama coach, like he had a house there, you know what I mean? Like he's like really rich. I might be saying his name wrong, but
I don't know what that is, but
very wealthy man.
Okay.
But like I went to Georgia and I remember like walking through the grocery store and people were so polite, and I was like, wait, I'm like the only colored person in this. They're like, why is this guy here? But I kind of liked it, you know what I mean? I was like, because I'm polite, you know? I was like, so they're like,
you're very friendly.
I was like,
there's levels to it. I like Texas for that. They're friendlier.
Yeah,
and I like that. People are like nice, and you don't realize. I think Philly is probably the meanest place on earth, and we don't know because we're in it. Yeah, and then you leave, and you're like, oh,
it's a breath of fresh air.
It's
you know?
nice. I'm kind of like it's wearing on me.
Yeah,
but then the South nice where it gets weird. That can be, yeah.
What is the weird though? Like
I think
I don't think I've experienced that.
If they're trying to figure out like who you are, or when I did the comedy show in Kentucky in Lexington, and this one lady was like, "Oh, I love your set." I was like, "Oh, thank you." And I was like, "You from here?" She's like, "No, I'm from PA. I just live here for work." And she's like, "Yeah, when you move here, they're like, nice to meet you. And what church do you go to?" It's like that.
Oh, so I see. They're like, trying to figure out some of your values.
It's real like Christian cookie cutter, and I'm like, ooh, that's
that makes me sometimes really religious people, like I respect religion, but they make me feel uncomfortable because sometimes I feel like
religion, like Christian shit.
No, all religion. I think anyone that's too far deep into anything, you kind of lose realism. And I think like I think look, I do a lot of degenerate things, but I'm not out here fucking kids. Right. Yeah, I mean, so and like sometimes the people that might be doing that bad thing, they might be holding religious values really high. You know what I mean? So sometimes I feel like real extremists in real religions might be doing something like real bad.
Yeah,
it's like tone it down. That
I don't like when people get too all in, locked into any.
Yeah.
I will even say ideology in terms of like even politics. Like this is my problem lately with the people that are super liberal woke. I was talking to a friend about this. There's people they're like, well, I believe these things and these things are good, so therefore I'm good. And now I don't say anything bad because I'm like on the good. Yeah, and I'm like, no, you're not. You're not good. Like none of us are good. And you can't just be like, no, I'm like absolved of like anything bad because I'm on like good team. It's like you're dumb. So you've got to be. I think you got to have a moral system you're continually revising. Oh, these are some. You got to have some beliefs or something to hold you together. Right?
The baseline.
I agree. You can't go out into the world like I don't know. Anyone do whatever. You got to be like I have some. But don't you always want to grow and be like, oh, I had thought this to be true, but now I'm seeing perhaps I need to revise a little.
No, I totally agree. Like I was doing did you ever go to Stir when Nancy was running it?
I haven't, but I know her well.
Yeah. Okay, so I was doing a joke at Stir, and like Stir is a LGBTQ bar in fucking Rittenhouse. Great place. And I did a joke at the time, like Spotify laid off all their employees, right? And I was like, oh, I was working at Spotify, and they laid.
Were you really?
Yeah, no. If I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not like a programmer, I got to work where they're building shit, Gretchen. But like, I was like, if they laid me off, so like the owner could like go fuck around, I'd be like, I'd go to his house and kick his dog, And like, that was like a funny thing people used to say about Indian people when we were little. I don't know if you've ever heard that phrase, but it's like, I'm going to come to your house and kick your dog. So I said that, and then some little Latina girl, she had to be a lesbian because there was no connection. It was just all anger, and and we're in that bar, so I just assume like I'm one of the only straight people there.
I love the racial tension in this. This is gold.
And she's like yelling at me. She's like, "Dogs are great. Like, fucking, why would you say that?" And I was like, "Madam, like, look," I was like, we eat cows in America.
So I said, "Señora."
Yeah, señora. Es cinco de mayo arriba. But I was like, well, you guys eat cows here, but I'm not fucking every
Dude,
night.
Dude, an Indian American guy and a Latina lady fighting at an open mic. That's America.
Yeah, dude.
Beautiful.
Sometimes I tell like my parents, like maybe I'm bring home a Latina woman, and they get a little nervous because they know they're fiery.
Yeah.
They'll ruin the peace.
Are they? Like, you have to be with an Indian lady?
No, but I tried that for them. You know what I mean? I really gave it a good ring. But
you're out here fucking a lady. You're like, I hope my mom would like this.
Well, when that girl came around, I was like, we have a good connection. You're cute, but I was like, most importantly, you're brown. I was like, let's run this for a bit, and then we did, and then shit happens. And
Do you have a type yourself?
No, I like. Okay, I have two things.
Okay.
Yeah. One is like they gotta be just like nice people. So what I mean like is like, you ever see those chicks when you're at a club and they're like, "Let's go to the other side, babe." You know what I mean? And they start elbowing bitches. Like they're fucking tanking through.
Pushy, rude.
Yeah, and they're small though. It's like, stop that.
Is
Like,
this club in Jersey? Because that's where it
Dude,
seems.
I feel like any club that you see this. You know what I mean?
Alright,
Now,
yeah.
like, look, if it's like you going through a crowd and you're a little taller, that's okay. But like, I'm saying, like, if you're a like small girl and you're just like fucking wrecking girls, and then they have big boyfriends, now I have to look at them and be like, huh, she's wasted, dog. Like, I don't like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then my other type is just whatever likes me, really. You know what I mean? And then like if it's like
this is every dude. It's like, what's your dream girl? You're like, nice and likes me. That would be my dream.
Yeah, it's your dream girl. It's like, you know, it's just she gotta be chill and then she gotta like me. You know, like, I don't want her fucking word like sucking dicks on the street if I'm editing. You know what I mean? Or I got something going on.
Yeah.
I gotta have a little trust here. So she gotta like you. So that's the big part.
She can't be out hoeing when you're editing.
Yeah, dude. It's like, come on. Watch a movie or some
I
shit.
can't think of any woman that would do that. They would be like, my boyfriend's editing a podcast, so I'm going to get out there and suck some dicks. Like, that's happened 0 times.
You know, I just know this promiscuous
I
woman.
love the male fears. This is really...
Yeah, it is. It's like, but it's what it is, you know?
Oh, that's nice. Very pure.
Yeah.
Like, is nice and likes me. Because I feel like women have more picky.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want her to be like fucking, like 9 feet tall.
All
hairy.
right, I'll leave.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. What are you, 6 foot? You can slide. You know what I mean? But like, I don't want those like hairy beasts that's like, oh, I'm Olga and she choke slams me. Okay, maybe a one night stand wouldn't be bad.
You're like, wait, now that I said that, I do want that.
But you know what I mean? Or like someone
not
that's
to bring home to mom, but like for time.
yeah, like for a good time, sure. Or like but like someone that doesn't take care of themselves. It's like
right.
It's not more like I'm not like looking for certain features, you know what I mean? Like if you have a small butt, we can go to the gym if you like you know what I mean? Or if like but if you have
That's so
certain
nice. I feel like so many dudes are like, she's gotta have big tits,
Yeah.
and you're like, it's just someone who's nice
Yeah,
and clean.
yeah, it takes like has like good ethics, you know what I mean? Like
You're like someone with morals, integrity.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, I went through a little hoe phase, and that's like okay for that.
I
Like,
think that's just called being in your early 20s.
yeah,
We're all
but
gonna have some fun.
exactly. But when you're doing all this, like,
I get it, dude. When you're raising and bait fish in bottles, you got your priorities. Get
you got your
realigned.
priorities, and you just don't want some fucking firestorm coming in there and getting your mental all screwed up. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's another thing with dudes. They want peace.
Yeah.
Because I'm so driven to like achieve the goals I set. I'm like, if I do well in comedy, I'm like, oh, look, like how well, like this is probably like attractive to someone. Like
Yeah.
I did something well. And then I'm like, oh, dudes just care if you're like nice and not
Yeah.
annoying. They don't care like what you do.
Gretchen, this is what it is. It's like people are so focused on what we do that it's like, and they're like, oh, how much money do you make? Can you take me on a date? Whatever. Like as society, maybe like not you, but just society standards. It's like fine, like we just know like it doesn't matter what you do because we're gonna be expected to just at the end of the day like to help out more. Like that's
Yeah.
like society's like like flower them like they're little flowers, like water them and whatever. So it's like I got it, and. I'm not saying like comedy is like the little like, but like even if like I was a doctor and I married like an engineer, like that there's that ego too. You know what I mean? It's like,
Oh, like would it bother you if the lady was more educated than you?
oh, it doesn't bother me, but just like societal standards. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if I have things that would make an average dude insecure or not
Yeah.
like me. Like I'm tall and I have a high education level. Does that fuck with people? No.
okay, maybe no, okay, not me, but like, cause I'm really open in that.
Sorry, I can't get shorter and dumber.
Yeah,
for you,
it's like no, and you shouldn't be like worried about that because there's gonna be like. Tall is like something dudes like. There's probably plenty of dudes that are like, I want to bang Gretchen, but she's just tall. You know what I mean?
Where are they?
Yeah, that's what I mean. And it's like it just, and then like for me, it's like
Wait
all right.
in the comments.
yeah, we'll send you her Instagram.
If you want to fuck me, just comment. Bob the freaks.
Come on, but freaks, come out here. But just like they don't want like you to get made fun of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you guys go out to like a club and they're like, "Who's that tall girl with that?"
I don't go to the club.
I just say club because I like saying that word.
It's like out in society.
Out in society is the club. You know, once I leave this door, it's the fucking club. You know?
Damn, out in the hall.
Yeah. The fucking hall elevator. You know, it's just, like,
Yeah, you didn't tell me you lived in like the Hilton.
yeah, I loved how you called it a compound.
Because it's like a great. And then some nice lady was like walking her dog, and I'm like, I'm totally getting in because it's a nice lady and I'm a nice lady.
Yeah,
and she's
yeah,
like, and like held the door.
Oh, I love that.
And then I go up to the front desk guy and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, just go. And I'm like, dude, I could like invade.
Oh yeah.
I should be like a spy, dude.
Nah, you don't. You're not built for that.
No.
You know, you're too nice for that. You gotta have like bad morals to be a spy.
Yeah.
Because you would befriend someone.
But
and
what
then
if I was a
turn 'em.
spy for the good? No,
Do they make those?
I guess not.
I don't think there's ever a time where a spy is good, to be honest.
Yeah, they're always trying to get some dirty secrets.
Papers, data.
I couldn't do it. I don't have good control of my face. I don't have like a poker face or anything.
I'll giggle. Yeah. they'll be like, what the fuck you got?
Spy is not a good career for me.
Yeah, either is poker player.
No.
That's a bad one for me.
I'm not good at poker.
Do you like smoking cigars?
No. Do you?
No, not really. But like, I was playing golf the other day with the first time.
I saw you've been golfing.
First
time?
Yeah. And I just wish I had a fucking cigar with me. You know what I mean?
How did you do your first time?
Oh, well, the thing is the golf course didn't have any lefty clubs. So I just played with a righty set. And since the drivers, you can't really switch them, I just played with a putter the whole time and switched the putter. I didn't do hot at all.
You were driving with a putter?
Yeah, a righty.
Oh, my God.
Because I'm just like, even I tried swinging righty, but like my body mechanics weren't even happening.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to do something lefty. And I just made do.
That's wild.
Yeah. You golf?
I competitively like mini golfed in college.
Yeah.
we had our own shit going on. You're like obsessed. It was really fun. And then somebody took me to like those chip and putt things.
Yeah.
Those are fun because
Yeah.
they're kind of more chill.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't actually golfed like 9 or 18.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a beautiful game.
You should get into it. I'm like, now that Gary and Jim took me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did like
the gray area pod, dude?
Yeah.
Took you golfing?
Uh-huh. We
I
went
want
golfing
to go
and
to
I
the
did
driving range. That's
Yeah.
funny. Or just crush a bucket of balls and just drive them.
Nah, but it's like the riding the carts, drinking the
You
beers.
got a cart?
Oh yeah.
Damn.
It's a good time. So I'm saying we all need to get into it and just Saturday mornings, just just do something that's not like that's I think what needs to happen. Like doing things that are not comedy, and so everyone can just fucking tone it down a bit. I need to see
the tone's too intense.
like sometimes you get into an open mic and it's like all strung out by like who's the popular one there and like what I mean. It's like I see the energy fuming off people's heads.
Really?
And
you
like
see the fumes?
I do sometimes.
Wait, like if someone's kind of a big dog, then everyone else acts weird?
Yeah, they're like a big dog, but only by like friendships. You know what I mean? But their material is not that great. And like people are still laughing, like, and sometimes I like sit there.
I don't like that.
Yeah, and like it's clicky, and like you see friends supporting friends, but the material is not that hot.
But you know what?
What?
Karma.
Yeah.
Karma bitch, because that guy, and it could be a girl, but I'm saying it's a guy, will go to a show and fucking bomb their ass off when their friends aren't there. So like you're gonna pay your dues somewhere.
But I want to see people do activities outside of comedy because that's like what really, I think, just like I want to see someone throw a ball. Like, let's tone it down a little bit.
You want to see more of a community camaraderie element?
Yeah, like let's do other things, like what I mean, because I think like if you watch like really old comics, like their friend groups, they've like all done like dumb shit together. But like I'm getting tired of like partying,
Yeah, you're looking to get into some new hobbies that you shared.
And I want to share them with comedians because we're supposed to like build these lifelong friendships, and we're supposed to like. My dream is like one day you'll make it big, I'll make it big, and then we'll have like a combined theater show, and we'll collab, and that it sells out. Like that's I think the big goal in my head. So that's why I took the liberty of starting my own little island, because in 20 years I would like for this all to compound.
Bhav Island.
Nah, it doesn't. I don't know. You know what? Bhav.
You're like, wait, islands aren't great in the press right now.
Yeah.
Let me walk on my back.
Bhav Shore. We'll take a coast. You know what I mean? We'll take a
coast is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope many of us do well.
I mean, we will. It's about persistence.
How long since your first time doing comedy?
So I like 5 years. 2017 August, I did my first open mic.
Where?
It was like this fucking weird room. It was like mixed poetry, comedy, music.
Oh, those are wild.
Yeah, and I did like 7 minutes on like, it was crazy. Maybe like fucking getting a dog for Christmas or something. And then it had like a very dark turn. I don't know.
Because they kicked the dog.
Maybe. I think so. There was a kicking of the dog. Yeah.
Like, that's what we say.
I have it still on tape. Like when I do my first theater maybe one day, that's going to be like, I'm going to play a clip or something. You know what I mean? From that. It's like fucking really awful. And I just want people to know how far I've come.
Yeah.
It's so trash. But yeah, it was just somewhere like between Manioc and East Falls in this like weird building. And I wore a leather jacket. I was so confident. Fucking slick back hair. Oh my God.
It's so funny to see someone like do it for the first time and then they're like, so do you think I got it?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you're going to need like 100 more tries before you begin to ask that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, I've always been told like, oh, Bhav, you have like the stage presence, but your writing is so trash. And I'm like, yeah, facts.
I was going to be like, and how does that make you feel?
It's the truth. You know what I mean? I can like sometimes if I'm like twisted, go up there and vibe it out like I did last night at Raven. I was like, I just had like been drunk.
How did it go?
Yeah, it went great. Like I smoked a
those
bong
shows
before.
Are consistently, those crowds want to be there and it's a good room.
Yeah, and I crushed it.
Yeah,
but like,
that's good.
You know what I mean? But that was all in vibes. You know, like I saw like, you know, like I could just see everyone's auras and we were all like, you know, making love, like, you know, not like making love, but like, you know, we're just all vibing.
I'm
you know?
like, what did you have before that?
But, you know, like.
Well, when I started comedy, I was friends with Joey Doherty and still am. He's a sweetheart.
Oh, I know Joey. Yeah.
And he said comics are always performers learning how to write or writers learning how to perform.
Yes.
And then when you get that, you watch people and you're like, oh, yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm the writer learning how to, because I'm like, oh, I have so much shit. I have like pages and pages, but I'm like, anyway, like awkward. So I'm like, oh, I'm learning how to perform.
Yeah.
And then I remember Rob Stant one time, he's like, you can take like writing classes for comedy to learn how to write. And I was like, dude, I've not wasted, but I've done years of writing classes. Like that, the last thing I need is another writing class, right? Yeah. I need to learn how to like get out there and like light it up.
Yeah.
But I thought, well, he's the opposite one.
Right.
He's a performer. He's naturally got whatever charisma, but he had to teach or learn how to structure some jokes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, and then you can respect everybody's got different styles.
Right.
But yeah, so I think it's good to know which one you are too. And I think we have a preference for leaning one way or the other because people just like different shit, and that's fine too.
My style of comedy is emotional manipulation.
Again, I gotta go.
Not like it's like because like if you don't like me in the first 30 seconds. The whole thing is not...
I think that's true of anybody.
Yeah.
Though. I think people real quick are like, I like you or not. And have you had this experience where you're like maybe not doing your best, but you can tell like the people are like with you.
And they're trying to root for you. Like, give me one.
They're like, stick the landing. Like, but they're like, you can feel when they're... And then you can feel when people are just... Like I had one show one time and I was like, you guys don't like me like at all. And this guy was like, no. And I'm like, okay. I was like, well, but like, and that'll happen too. But I don't know.
No, I feel that, you know, but the thing is when they don't like you, I kind of like that.
Why?
Because it's uphill. Like, I feel like I've always had like a problem with people. Like maybe it's in my head. I feel like a lot of people don't like me. And maybe that's because, I don't know. It's a fucking internal fucking bad monologue. But so I always feel like, I want to dig myself out of that hole.
Yeah.
So up front, I'm being really charming, and I'm trying to get the Dairy Queen material. Ooh, racism. Ooh, cute. And then I hit you with something bad, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "The mullet. This is why I need the mullet." Once the mullet came out, everything started coming full circle for me, because I would like Stress Factory is where I really saw it happen, because it was like I started talking shit, and they didn't groan. They were like, "Yeah." And I was like, oh, the mullet. Because I was like, yeah, you guys like. I'd say the mullet shit. I'm like, I got this mullet acting like a douchebag. And they're like, yeah, you are. So I got it in now. I'm locked into it. So I'm afraid to shave it.
I think it's a cool look.
Thank you. But it's like really, I don't like hair in my forehead. I don't like the bangs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have your parents commented on it? No.
They like the buzz.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do about that? Have you had any crazy hairstyles?
No, I'm pretty consistent. Just like some blonde highlights.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what is that? So like you get in the highlights and you're naturally a brunette?
Yeah, light brown, just kind of boring.
Hey, you ever like try to cut it to your shoulder or anything crazy?
I've had it a little bit shorter versus longer, but this is pretty. I did the straight bangs one time, and this is not for me.
Yeah.
It's like an indie rock era.
I saw a really cute picture of me as a child, and I had bangs down to here. And
is that the one you often share where you look like angelic?
Yeah, yeah. Like that's like all my
cute.
story with the fucking comedy. So I'm trying to redo that one, but with the mullet in the back.
A sort of childlike bowl cut.
Child bowl cut, mullet in the back, precious and dangerous, all at the same time.
Sounds like you're just got some bars going.
I'm trying. Sometimes I watch the podcast back and I start writing down things I say.
That's good.
You want to wrap this up?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think we did a great job.
Got something out of here.
Yeah, bring it in here. I
don't. A little sweaty from holding the mic.
It's all right. It happens. Gretchen, tell them where to find you.
Oh, you can find me on Instagram, Gretchen Dietz. Also, please subscribe to my YouTube. I'm not going to make any threats like some people.
Hey, threat them. Give them a threat. What are you going to do if they don't fucking follow?
Absolutely nothing. I don't make threats.
That's fine. That's fine.
If you don't subscribe to my YouTube, I'll just remain the kind of chill person I am.
If you don't subscribe to our YouTube, I will commit self-harm.
There you go. You heard it here.
I got you, Gretchen.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Deuces.